Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited you're here today because we're diving deep. In today's Pick a Card reading, which is all about getting to the heart of the matter, we're going to be looking at what's really in their heart. Yeah, like what they might not even be saying out loud. I really wanted to create a safe space to explore these hidden feelings. Okay, so for this reading, we're not just skimming the surface, We're really going to see what's driving them, what their true feelings are, and maybe even uncover some secrets. It's going to be super insightful, whether it's about a romantic interest, a friend, or even a family member. This reading is timeless, so whenever you're watching this, the message is meant for you. So we have 4 different groups for you to choose from today. First up, for pile 1, we have this beautiful Labradorite angel. This pile is all about unveiling the depths and seeing what they show the world. Then, for pile 2, we have this gorgeous Garnet cluster, which is all about rooted desires and the core of their being. Ooh la la. For pile 3, we have this stunning Moonstone point, representing the hidden tides and the unspoken longings within. And finally, for pile 4, we have this clear Quartz tower, which is about reflected truths and the light they wish to share. Take a deep breath, close your eyes if you want, and just feel which crystal you're most drawn to, okay? There's no pressure at all. It's totally okay if you're drawn to more than one pile. Just go with your gut. It's time to make a wish, it's time to pick your pile. Trust your intuition in choosing. And remember, it's okay to check multiple piles if something doesn't quite resonate. Sending you so much love and light as you make your choice. Okay, pile with the Labradorite angel, this crystal is all about flowing with change and seeing the magic in everyday life. And with our theme, unveiling the depths, what they show the world, get ready because these cards, they're going to take us deep, deep into the heart of the matter. First up, we have the 3 of Swords. Oh, honey, this card. Okay, so the 3 of Swords is like the classic heartbreak card, right? You see the heart with the 3 swords piercing it, and immediately you think, ouch. But it's not just about romantic heartbreak, although, yeah, it could be that. It's about any kind of deep emotional pain, betrayal, feeling like your heart is just being ripped open. It's that moment of, oh my God, I didn't see that coming, Like that blindside feeling. So immediately, I'm feeling like someone in this pile has recently gone through or is currently going through a really painful situation, and it's probably something that you didn't expect. It could be a relationship ending, a friendship falling apart, maybe even a job loss or a big disappointment in something you were really invested in. It's that sharp, sudden pain that just kind of takes your breath away, And it could also be a realization, like a painful truth that you've been avoiding. The thing about the 3 of Swords is it's not subtle. Like, it's not a gentle nudge, it's a full-in stab. It's that moment where the illusion shatters and you see things for what they really are, and it hurts like a lot. So, yeah, I'm definitely feeling some intense emotions here, some real sadness, maybe even anger or resentment. And you know what? That's okay. Like, it's okay to feel all those things. Don't try to suppress them or pretend they're not there, because that's just going to make it worse in the long run. And the flowing energy of the Labradorite is all about letting those emotions move through you, not getting stuck in them. Allow yourself to feel the pain, acknowledge it, and then, start to release it. Because holding on to it is just going to keep those swords stuck in your heart, right? But I am also seeing that this pain, as awful as it feels, is actually leading you somewhere. It's like, sometimes, you have to break things apart in order to rebuild them stronger, So, yeah, it hurts right now, but trust me, there's a purpose to this. The universe isn't just being cruel. It's trying to get your attention, trying to guide you towards something better. And you know what else this could be? It could be that you're holding onto something that you need to let go of. Like maybe you're clinging to a relationship or a situation that's no longer serving you, and the universe is like, okay, we're going to have to, pry this out of your hands because you're not letting go on your own. And that can be really painful, especially if it's something you've invested a lot of time and energy into. But sometimes, you have to accept that things change, and that what was once good for you is no longer good for you anymore. And also, it could be a wake-up call to start prioritizing yourself and your own needs. Maybe you've been putting everyone else first for so long that you've forgotten what you want, what you need. And this pain is like a reminder that you deserve to be happy, that you deserve to be treated with respect and love, and that you shouldn't settle for anything less. So, yeah, the Three of Swords is intense, but it's also a catalyst for change. It's a push to move forward, even when it feels like you can barely breathe. Remember that the Labradorite is all about seeing the magic in the mundane, even in pain. Okay? So yeah, that's the Three of Swords. Heartbreak, pain, betrayal, but also like a necessary step towards something better. Now let's see what's next. And next we have the Chariot. Whoa, okay. So after that Three of Swords energy, the Chariot is like, okay, enough wallowing. It's time to take control. This is all about willpower, determination, and moving forward with confidence. It's about harnessing your inner strength and like charging ahead towards your goals. So, I'm seeing that after this heartbreak, or whatever painful situation you're going through, you're not going to stay down for long. You're going to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and say, okay, I'm not going to let this defeat me. You're going to find that inner fire, that determination to overcome whatever obstacles are in your way. And that's amazing. Like, I'm so proud of you already. The Chariot is also about balance. You see the two sphinxes, one black and one white, and they represent opposing forces. It's about finding a way to, like, reconcile those forces and move forward in a harmonious way. So, it's not just about bulldozing your way through things. It's about being strategic, being mindful, and making sure you're not neglecting any important aspects of your life in the process. This could mean balancing your emotions with your logic, your work life with your personal life, or your own needs with the needs of others. It's about finding that sweet spot where everything feels aligned, you know? And this also ties into the Labradorite's energy, which is all about finding balance and flow in your life. It's about recognizing that even when things are chaotic, you can still find your center and move forward with grace and ease. Okay? The Chariot is also a card of victory and success. It's about achieving your goals and overcoming challenges. So, I'm seeing that you're going to be successful in whatever you set your mind to. You have the drive, the determination, and the willpower to make it happen. Just don't forget to stay grounded and keep your ego in check, okay? Because the Chariot can also be about being a little too headstrong or arrogant, and that can lead to mistakes or setbacks. So, stay humble, stay focused, and keep your eye on the prize. And you know what else this could mean? It could mean a literal journey. Like, maybe you're going to be traveling soon, or maybe you're going to be moving to a new place. The Chariot is all about movement and adventure, so be open to new experiences and opportunities that come your way. And this journey, whether it's physical or metaphorical, is going to be really important for your growth and development. It's going to help you to, like, see the world in a new way and discover new things about yourself. But I am feeling it's less about a physical journey and more about harnessing the energy of travel by embracing new ideas and perspectives. The Chariot is fast, but it is also in control. It will be important to consider how to adjust quickly as you move forward, but to not be reckless or hasty in making decisions. The Chariot coming after the Three of Swords is incredibly powerful. It is a signal that this heartache, betrayal, or painful truth will not define you. You have the strength to overcome this. You have the power to direct your life. Now, with that said, you will need to remember to rest, or you will not be able to maintain this pace. That leads me to our final card. Okay, and finally, we have the Four of Swords. Okay, so after all that, heartbreak and charging forward with the Chariot energy, the Four of Swords is like, okay, time out, you need to rest. This card is all about taking a break, recharging your batteries, and recuperating from all the stress and drama. So I'm seeing that after all that intense energy, you're going to need to take some time for yourself to just chill out and relax. And that's not a bad thing. It's actually a really important thing. You can't keep going at full speed all the time. You're going to burn out. So the universe is telling you to slow down, take a deep breath, and give yourself permission to rest. And that's okay. The Four of Swords is also about introspection and contemplation. It's about taking some time to reflect on what you've been through, to process your emotions, and to gain some clarity about what you want to do next. So this is a good time to, like, journal, meditate, or just spend some time in nature, doing things that help you to connect with your inner self. I'm feeling that this is a very important part of your healing process. You can't just ignore your emotions and pretend they're not there. You need to acknowledge them, understand them, and then find a way to release them. And the Four of Swords is giving you the space and the time to do that. And this, of course, flows directly into the message from the Labradorite. Healing is not a passive process, but it is also one that requires that you flow, that you allow your mind and body to work together to move to a better place. So, it's less about napping and more about allowing your mind to process through meditation and other restorative practices. Okay. And you know what else this could mean? It could mean that you need to take a break from a certain situation or relationship. Like maybe you're feeling overwhelmed by work or by a certain person in your life, and you need to create some distance in order to regain your perspective. So, this is a good time to set some boundaries and to, say no to things that are draining your energy. You deserve to protect your peace, and the Four of Swords is giving you permission to do that. It's also about finding a safe space where you can retreat from the world and just be yourself. Like, maybe you have a favorite spot in your house where you like to go to relax, or maybe you have a friend or family member who you can always count on to listen without judgment. Whatever it is, make sure you have a place where you can go to recharge your batteries and feel safe and supported. This is so important for your well-being, but it also could be telling you to get more sleep and to take better care of your physical health. Remember, the mind and body are connected, and if you're not taking care of your body, it's going to be hard to take care of your mind. So, yeah, the Four of Swords is all about rest, relaxation, and introspection. It's about taking a break from the chaos of the world and giving yourself permission to heal. This will not be a permanent state, but it is a necessary step in the process. Now this set of cards tells a story of how this person deals with the ebbs and flows of emotions. This is very important, and I am excited to see how this unfolds. Okay, so that's the Three of Swords, the Chariot, and the Four of Swords. Heartbreak, determination, and rest. A full cycle. But what does it all mean together? Well, I'm seeing that you're going to be going through a period of intense emotional upheaval, followed by a surge of willpower and determination, and then a need for rest and recuperation. It's like a cycle, and it's important to embrace each phase of it. Don't try to rush through the pain, don't try to push yourself too hard when you're feeling exhausted, and don't be afraid to take a break when you need it. Trust the process, and know that you're going to come out of this stronger and more resilient than ever before. I am sensing, however, that there is something you may still be unaware of, and I am anxious to see how the next card sheds some light on this dynamic. Okay, so after all that, we get the Star. Oh, this is beautiful, especially after what we've just been through, right? The Three of Swords with all that heartbreak, that Chariot energy of pushing forward, and then needing that Four of Swords rest. The Star is like, a breath of fresh air, like a cool drink of water after being in the desert. This card is pure hope, inspiration, healing, all those good things, So, where the Three of Swords was all about pain and the Chariot was all about action, the Star is all about faith, trusting that things are going to get better, even when you can't see how. And after the rest from the Four of Swords, now you can see the stars. It's about seeing that light at the end of the tunnel, It's that feeling of, okay, I've been through a lot, but I'm still here and I still have something to offer the world. It's really beautiful. And it's interesting, right? Because our theme is unveiling the depths, what they show the world. So, this isn't just about, feeling good on the inside. It's about how you're radiating that hope and inspiration outwards. It's about sharing your light with others, even when you're still healing. But I think there's an important distinction to be made here. It's not about pretending that you're perfect or that you have all the answers. It's about being real, being vulnerable, and showing the world that even after going through tough times, you can still find beauty and meaning in life. It's like, those cracks in pottery that they fill with gold. Kintsugi, I think it's called. It's about embracing your imperfections and seeing them as part of what makes you unique and beautiful. The Star is often depicted as a woman pouring water onto the earth, right? It's like she's nourishing the world around her, but she's also nourishing herself. It's about giving and receiving, about finding that balance between taking care of yourself and taking care of others. You know, and that really flows with your Labradorite crystal. Remember, it is all about flowing and seeing the magic in the mundane. And the star? Well, it is magic, especially after coming from the Three of Swords. The star is about embracing that flow, finding that sense of wonder and awe in the everyday. I think this is, like, a really important message for you right now, especially after everything you've been through. It's easy to get caught up in the negativity and to feel like things are never going to get better. But the star is a reminder that there's always hope, always light, always a reason to keep going. And the flowing water? It's about cleansing yourself, letting go of all that baggage, all that pain, all that resentment, and starting fresh. It is about washing it all away so that you can begin again. You know, but here's the thing, and this is important, I think. The star isn't just about, like, passively waiting for good things to happen. It's about actively creating them. It's about taking that inspiration and turning it into action. It's about using your gifts and talents to make the world a better place, even in small ways. Like, maybe it's volunteering your time, or donating to a cause you care about, or just being kind to someone who's having a bad day. It's about spreading that light and positivity wherever you go. It's about recognizing your own inner strength and knowing that you have the power to make a difference. This can be small or large, but that light is needed. Okay. And that, of course, ties back to the Chariot, right? Because you have the power to direct that energy now, with the star shining the way forward. And because we are talking about what is really in their heart, I feel this hope is more than just optimism. It's about believing in your deepest desires and aspirations, even if they seem impossible. It's about connecting with your inner child and remembering what it felt like to dream without limits. What did you want when you were a child? What did you strive to become? This is the time to embrace what is in your heart and to allow that to shine. You know, I am also sensing something about authenticity here, too, because this is unveiling the depths, right? So it's not just about showing the world what you think they want to see. It's about showing them who you really are, flaws and all. And that can be scary, right? Because it means being vulnerable, being open to criticism, being willing to be judged. But it's also incredibly freeing. It's about saying, "This is me, take it or leave it," and trusting that the right people will love and accept you for who you are. Like, that Labradorite is all about seeing the magic in the mundane, but it's also about embracing your own unique magic, your own quirks and eccentricities, and letting them shine. So, I think that's a big part of what the star is about for you right now. It's about stepping into your authenticity and letting your true colors shine through. It is about trusting that the universe has your back. It's about knowing that you're exactly where you need to be, even if it doesn't always feel like it. And it's about remembering that you're not alone. There are people out there who believe in you, who support you, who love you for who you are. And they're waiting for you to show them your true self. So, don't be afraid to let them in. Okay? But I am sensing that this newfound hope and inspiration might be tested. Like, the universe isn't just going to hand you everything on a silver platter, right? There might be some challenges ahead, some obstacles to overcome, some decisions to make that will require you to stay true to your vision. But the fact that you've pulled the star after all that you've been through is a sign that you have the strength and resilience to handle whatever comes your way. You've already proven that you can overcome heartbreak, that you can take control of your life, that you can heal and grow from your experiences. So, don't doubt yourself now. Don't let fear or insecurity hold you back. Trust in your own inner wisdom and keep shining your light, even when it feels like the world is trying to dim it. Because the world needs your light, and you need to share it. I feel you need to hear that. The world needs your light, and you need to share it. Okay? I feel there may be a decision coming about how you want to show the world your talents. There is hope, but there will be decisions about how you want to manifest. And I am very curious to see how the next card builds on this energy of hope and inspiration. Are you ready? Okay, so after the star, after all that hope and inspiration and shining your light, we get the strength card. Oh wow, this is like perfect, right? Because it's all about, well, strength, obviously, but it's so much more than just, physical strength, you know? It's about inner strength, courage, compassion, and, that quiet power that comes from within. And I'm so excited to see this here because it's like the universe is just reinforcing that message of, you got this, you know? You've been through so much, and you've come out stronger on the other side. So, yeah, I'm feeling really good about this card in this position. Really good. So, the Strength card, it's often depicted as, a woman gently calming a lion, right? And it's not about overpowering the lion, it's about connecting with it on a deeper level, understanding its needs, and, using your inner power to create harmony. It's about, tamming your own inner beast, those fears and insecurities that can hold you back, you know? And it's about leading with your heart, with compassion and empathy, not with force or aggression. So, yeah, I'm definitely feeling a sense of, gentle power here, a quiet confidence that's really beautiful. And you know, after that Three of Swords, that heartbreak, this Strength card is okay, you've been hurt, but you're not broken. You have the strength to heal, to move forward, to create a better future for yourself. And it ties into that Chariot energy, too, because it's not just about, charging ahead blindly. It's about having the inner strength to direct your energy, to make conscious choices, and to stay true to your values, even when things get tough. And even after the rest of the Four of Swords, right? It's you've taken that time to recharge, to reflect, and now you're ready to step back into the world with renewed strength and purpose. The Four of Swords offers not just literal rest, but to really lean into your inner power to make the right decision about how and when to act. Okay? And remember how I said the world needs your light with the star? Well, this Strength card is about having the courage to shine that light, even when you're feeling scared or vulnerable. But okay, here's where it gets really interesting, right? Because our theme is unveiling the depths, what they show the world. So, what if this person is showing strength that they don't actually feel? What if it's a mask, you know? They're putting on a brave face for the world, but on the inside, they're still struggling. Or maybe they're, overcompensating for their insecurities by being, super assertive or even aggressive. You know, that whole fake it till you make it thing? But, is it really working for them? Is it authentic? Or is it just creating more problems in the long run? Or, okay, what if it's the opposite? What if they're actually way stronger than they let on? They're hiding their power, playing it down, maybe because they're afraid of being judged or misunderstood. Or maybe they're just, naturally humble and don't want to come across as arrogant. But, is that serving them? Are they dimming their own light in order to make others feel more comfortable? Because we talked about that a little bit with the star, you know, not dimming your light. So, yeah, I'm really wondering about the authenticity of this strength. Is it real? Is it perceived? Is it a defense mechanism? Or is it a genuine expression of inner power? Okay, so, let's break this down into some real-life scenarios, right? Maybe this person is, going through a really tough time at work, but they're putting on a brave face and pretending that everything is fine. They're, working crazy hours, taking on extra projects, and just generally trying to be a superhero. But, on the inside, they're completely stressed out and overwhelmed. And eventually, they're going to burn out, right? Or maybe they're in a relationship that's not really working for them, but they're staying in it because they're afraid of being alone. They're, pretending to be happy, but on the inside, they're miserable. And that's not fair to them, and it's not fair to their partner. Or maybe they have a dream that they're really passionate about, but they're afraid to pursue it because they're afraid of failing. They're, telling everyone that they're happy with their current situation, but on the inside, they're secretly yearning for something more. So, what does this all mean for you? Well, I think it's about getting really honest with yourself about your own strength. Where are you genuinely strong? Where are you just pretending? And where are you actually weaker than you think you are? And it's about finding that balance between being strong and being vulnerable, between being confident and being humble, between taking care of yourself and taking care of others. It's about recognizing that true strength comes from within, from that deep connection to your own inner power, and not from external validation or approval. It is about embracing all of who you are. And it's about having the courage to show the world who you really are, flaws and all, because that's when you're truly the most powerful. It means showing the world that after the Three of Swords you can get back up and stand tall. And, it's okay to ask for help when you need it. Like, that's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. It takes courage to admit that you're struggling and to reach out to others for support. So don't be afraid to lean on your friends, your family, your therapist, whoever it is that you trust. They're there for you and they want to help you. And remember that self-care is not selfish, it's essential. You can't pour from an empty cup. So make sure you're taking care of your physical, emotional, and spiritual needs. Get enough sleep, eat healthy food, exercise, spend time in nature, do things that bring you joy. And of course, meditate, journal, whatever helps you connect with your inner self. Those Four of Swords moments are still important. The strength is knowing when to act and when to embrace that introspection. Okay, so yeah, the Strength card is complex, right? It's not just about being strong, it's about understanding what true strength really means for you, and it is recognizing the need to have the courage of the star to let it shine. And I'm really curious to see how this all ties together with the final card. Like, what's the next piece of the puzzle? What's the ultimate message that the universe wants you to hear? I'm feeling like it's going to be something really profound, something that's going to help you step into your full power and live your best life. Are you ready to find out? Because I am. Okay, so after all that talk about strength and shining your light, we get the Nine of Wands. Okay, this is interesting. So after all that hope, inspiration, and inner power, the Nine of Wands is like, here comes a challenge. So like the Nine of Wands is often seen as, being weary, being tested, feeling like you're constantly on guard. Like you've been through a lot, you've almost reached your goal, but there's like one last hurdle to jump, and you're just like so tired of jumping hurdles, You're like, not another one. You can see the finish line, almost touch it, but this last bit, it feels like the hardest. And I think that's really important to look at, especially after that Strength card, right? Because we were talking about, like, is that strength real? Is it a mask? And now we have the Nine of Wands, which is like, okay, the universe is testing you, is saying, okay, you say you're strong? Let's see how strong you really are. Like, it's that moment where you have to put your money where your mouth is. So, like, where the Strength card was all about inner power and that quiet confidence, the Nine of Wands is about, like, actually having to use that strength, having to defend yourself, having to stand your ground. It's not just about feeling strong on the inside, it's about showing the world that you are strong, even when you're feeling vulnerable. And I feel like that's why this card is here. So, going back to the Three of Swords, right? All that heartbreak, all that pain, that can leave scars, right? And those scars can make you, like, wary, hesitant to trust, always expecting the worst. So, like, maybe this Nine of Wands energy is coming from a place of fear, of wanting to protect yourself from getting hurt again. It's like you've built up these walls around your heart, these defenses, and you're constantly scanning the horizon for threats. And that can be exhausting, right? Like, constantly being on guard like that. It can drain your energy, it can make you feel isolated, and it can prevent you from fully opening yourself up to new experiences and new relationships. But is that really living? It's about recognizing the times you need to use your inner strength to protect yourself, versus when you're just guarding yourself from living a full life. Or maybe it's not even about past trauma. Maybe it's just about, like, feeling overwhelmed by the current situation. Like you're juggling so many things, you're dealing with so much stress, that you just feel like you have to be on your guard all the time. Like you're afraid that if you let your guard down for even a second, everything is going to fall apart. So, what does this look like in real life? Like, let's say you're at work, right? Maybe you've been working on a really important project. You've put your heart and soul into it, and you're almost done. But then, like, a coworker starts, like, questioning your decisions, criticizing your work, or even trying to sabotage you. So naturally, you're going to feel defensive, right? You're going to want to protect your work, to defend your ideas, to prove that you're right. And that's understandable. But, like, is that defensiveness actually helping you? Or is it just creating more conflict, more stress, more drama? It is an interesting place to be when you are at the precipice of a dream or a goal and someone attempts to try and steal it. Or maybe it's in your personal life, right? Maybe you've been dating someone new and things are going really well. But then, like, they do something that triggers your insecurities, something that reminds you of past hurts. And suddenly, you're putting up walls, you're becoming distant, you're pushing them away. You know, because you're afraid of getting hurt again. And that's understandable, but it's not necessarily fair to that person, and it's not necessarily helping you move forward. It's a very tough place to be, when you are finally connecting with someone, but the scars from the Three of Swords keep you at bay. Or maybe it's just about your own internal struggles, right? Maybe you're trying to make a big change in your life, like starting a new business or pursuing a creative passion. But then, like, your inner critic starts whispering doubts in your ear, telling you that you're not good enough, that you're going to fail, that you should just give up. So you start to get defensive, you start to doubt yourself, you start to procrastinate. You know, because you're afraid of putting yourself out there and failing. It's tough to continue on when you are feeling so many doubts. So, like, what's the solution? How do you break free from this Nine of Wands energy? Well, I think it starts with, like, recognizing it for what it is, right? Recognizing that you're feeling defensive, that you're feeling guarded, that you're feeling like you have to protect yourself. And then asking yourself why. What are you really afraid of? What are you really trying to protect? And then challenging those fears, questioning those beliefs. Are they really true? Are they really serving you? And this is where the Labradorite comes in, right? Because the Labradorite is all about flowing with change, about seeing the magic in the mundane. So, it's about finding a way to flow through this challenge, to find the magic even in this feeling of being tested. It's about recognizing that this Nine of Wands energy isn't necessarily a bad thing. It can actually be a sign of strength, a sign that you're resilient, a sign that you're willing to fight for what you believe in. This card, combined with the Labradorite crystal, asks you to flow through these feelings, not fight them, but also to move forward and not let the feelings stop you from taking action. It's a call to step into your power, to embrace the change. The only way to get to the other side of this challenge is to move forward with grace and poise. But it's also about recognizing that you don't have to do it all alone. You can ask for help, you can lean on your support system, you can trust that the universe has your back. And it's about remembering that you're not perfect, that you're going to make mistakes, that you're going to stumble and fall. But that's okay. That's part of being human. And it's about learning from those mistakes, getting back up, and keep moving forward. It is also about understanding your limits. You are strong, but you are not invincible. And like, this all ties back into our theme, right? Unveiling the depths, what they show the world. So, like, what are you really showing the world when you're in this Nine of Wands energy? Are you showing them your true self, your vulnerability, your humanity? Or are you just showing them a defensive facade, a guarded exterior? Are you being authentic, or are you trying to project an image of strength that you don't actually feel? Because if you're not being authentic, if you're not showing the world who you really are, then you're not really unveiling the depths, are you? You're just hiding them. And that's not what you want to do. It's really a call to show the world that even though you may feel hurt, you are still standing strong. The more you try to protect yourself, the more you risk isolating yourself and missing out on the beauty of the world. So, yeah, the Nine of Wands is a challenge, but it's also an opportunity. An opportunity to get real with yourself, to get honest with the world, to embrace your vulnerability, and to step into your full power. And I'm really curious to see how this all plays out with the final card. Like, what's the ultimate message that the universe wants you to hear? What's the final piece of the puzzle that's going to help you break free from this Nine of Wands energy and live your best life? I'm sensing that it's going to be something really transformative, something that's going to help you see the world in a whole new light. Are you ready to find out? Because I definitely am. I'm, like, so excited to see what's next. Okay, so, like, after all that Nine of Wands energy, after all those challenges and feeling like you have to defend yourself all the time, we get the Ten of Pentacles. Oh my gosh, this is huge. Okay, like, this is a card about legacy, about family, about long-term security, and about, like, building something that lasts. Like, wow, this is really significant, especially considering everything we've been talking about, right? So, the Ten of Pentacles, it's often depicted as, like, a family scene, right? You see, like, grandparents, parents, children all together in this, like, beautiful, secure setting. It's like the picture of domestic bliss, you know. But like, because our theme is unveiling the depths, what they show the world, I'm immediately thinking like, is this the real deal? Or is it just a facade? Like, is this person actually living this, like, perfect family life? Or is it something they're projecting to the world? You know. Because, like, we've seen with the Strength card that this person might be showing a strength that they don't actually feel. And with the Nine of Wands, we saw that they might be putting up walls to protect themselves. So, like, is this Ten of Pentacles energy just another way of, like, protecting themselves? Is it a way of, like, saying, look at me, I have it all together, even if they don't actually feel that way on the inside? That's what I am sensing might be happening here. So, like, on the one hand, the Ten of Pentacles is amazing, right? It's about creating a stable foundation for yourself and your loved ones. It's about building wealth, not just for yourself, but for future generations. It's about having a sense of belonging, of being part of something bigger than yourself. It's about tradition, about values, about passing down those values to your children. It's like all those good things that we all want in life, right? I am getting a strong sense of tradition here, perhaps family traditions or community traditions. There is something very important about this aspect and keeping it alive. But okay, like, let's dig a little deeper, right? Because this is unveiling the depths. So, like, what if this person is so focused on building this, like, perfect life that they're actually neglecting their own needs? What if they're so busy trying to create this, like, legacy that they're actually missing out on the present moment? What if they're so concerned with what other people think that they're actually sacrificing their own happiness? I feel a warning about prioritizing the future over the present, especially if it is impacting your happiness. You deserve to be happy now, you know. Because, like, sometimes the Ten of Pentacles can be about, like, clinging to tradition for tradition's sake, even if those traditions are no longer serving you. It can be about, like, feeling obligated to follow in your family's footsteps, even if that's not what you truly want. It can be about, like, being so concerned with appearances that you're actually living a lie. And that's where it gets tricky, right? That's where it stops being about genuine connection and starts being about, like, performing for others. I'm sensing that's what is happening here, a feeling of performance. So, like, how does this all tie back to the previous cards? Well, like, remember that Three of Swords? That heartbreak? Maybe this person is trying to create this, like, perfect family life as a way of, like, healing from that heartbreak, as a way of, like, proving to themselves that they're worthy of love and happiness. But, like, is that really the best way to heal? Is it about trying to create this, like, idealized version of reality? Or is it about, like, accepting the pain, processing the emotions, and moving forward with authenticity? I am also feeling like this could be about filling a void that was created with this heartache. Like, you can't replace love with material things or legacy. The Chariot, right? That drive, that determination. Maybe this person is channeling all that energy into building this, like, empire, into creating this, like, financial security, as a way of, like, controlling their life, as a way of, like, feeling safe and secure. But, like, is that really the best way to use that energy? Is it about trying to control everything? Or is it about, like, surrendering to the flow, trusting the universe, and embracing the unknown? Or what about the star? That hope, that inspiration? Maybe this person is trying to create this, like, beautiful life as a way of, like, sharing their light with the world, as a way of, like, inspiring others. But, like, is that really their intention? Or are they just trying to, like, impress others, to get validation, to feel important? I'm getting a sense that this person is building a life to prove something to others, instead of living for themselves. So, like, let's break this down into some real-life scenarios, right? Like, maybe this person is, like, working crazy hours to provide for their family, but they're so stressed out and exhausted that they're not actually present with their loved ones. They're, like, physically there, but they're not emotionally there. And that's, like, creating tension and distance in the family. Or maybe this person is, like, obsessed with their social media image, constantly posting pictures of their, like, perfect life, but on the inside, they're feeling empty and insecure. They're, like, chasing likes and validation, but they're not actually connecting with anyone on a deep level. It's tough to connect with people when you aren't fully vulnerable. Or maybe this person is, like, staying in a job that they hate because it provides financial security, but they're so miserable that it's affecting their health and their relationships. They're like sacrificing their own happiness for the sake of stability. All these possibilities. So, what's the solution? What's the way out of this potential trap? Well, I think it starts with getting really honest with yourself about what you truly value. What's really important to you? Is it money? Is it status? Is it tradition? Or is it something deeper, something more meaningful? Is it love? Is it connection? Is it authenticity? Remember, you get to make the call about your life. And then, it's about aligning your actions with your values. It's about making choices that are in alignment with what you truly believe in, even if those choices are difficult or unconventional. It's about, prioritizing your own well-being, your own happiness, your own fulfillment over the expectations of others. The final message I am getting is that you do not need to live your life according to someone else's expectations. Maybe that means scaling back at work, spending more time with your loved ones, pursuing your passions, or just being more present in the moment. It's tough to live in someone else's world. It's about creating a life that feels authentic, that feels meaningful, that feels true to yourself. And that's when you're truly living your best life, right? Because that is what the stars have in store for you. And that's when you're truly showing the world who you really are. So, yeah, the Ten of Pentacles is complex. It's not just about having it all. It's about understanding what all really means to you and making sure that you're not sacrificing your own happiness in the process. I am feeling a release coming. You are almost there. This reading is all about you learning how to shed the expectations from others and embrace your truth. You are meant to shine. Okay, so, after all of that, all that we've uncovered, from that initial heartbreak with the Three of Swords, right, to finding your inner strength, to facing challenge after challenge, and then seeing that potential for, long-term security, but also that potential trap of living for appearances with the Ten of Pentacles. We finally arrive at the King of Cups. Oh, wow, this is so good. So, the King of Cups is all about emotional mastery, right? He's a ruler, he's in control, but he's not a cold, heartless ruler. He's a compassionate, understanding, emotionally intelligent ruler. He's someone who's learned to navigate the waters of his own emotions, and he's able to offer guidance and support to others. He really cares, you know. And that's so important after everything we've seen in this reading, all those emotional ups and downs. And, he's sitting on his throne, and it's often near the water, so he understands the ebbs and flows of emotions, right? He knows that emotions come and go, like waves, and he doesn't try to suppress them or deny them. He just allows them to flow through him, like that Labradorite crystal teaches us, finding that flow and magic in all the feelings. But here's the thing, and this is so important, especially given our theme of unveiling the depths, what they show the world. Is this King of Cups energy authentic? Is this person really emotionally balanced and compassionate? Or are they just putting on a show? Are they just trying to appear to be in control, even when they're feeling overwhelmed or insecure? I think there's a big question mark over that, right? Because, we talked about with the Strength card, this person might be showing a strength that they don't actually feel. And with the Ten of Pentacles, they might be trying to create this, perfect life as a way of, proving something to others. So, is this King of Cups energy just another layer of that? Is it just another way of trying to, control the narrative to present a certain image to the world? I feel like we need to dig deeper here. Or, okay, what if it's the opposite? What if this person is actually incredibly emotionally intelligent and compassionate, but they're afraid to show it? What if they're afraid of being seen as weak or vulnerable? What if they're afraid of, opening themselves up and getting hurt again, especially after that Three of Swords experience? Maybe they're guarding their heart, like we saw with that Nine of Wands, because they're afraid of getting betrayed or rejected. I think there's that possibility too, So, how does this King of Cups energy tie into everything else we've seen? Well, remember that Chariot? That drive, that determination. Maybe this person is using that Chariot energy to, master their emotions, to gain control over their feelings. They are using it to get in touch with a better and more whole version of them. But is that really the best way to use that energy? Is it about, controlling your emotions? Or is it about, accepting them, understanding them, and allowing them to guide you? And what about the star? That hope, that inspiration? Maybe this person is trying to, embody the King of Cups energy as a way of, sharing their light with the world, as a way of, inspiring others to heal and grow. But, is that really their intention? Or are they just trying to, gain admiration, to be seen as, a guru or a wise leader, It's tough to say for sure. So, let's break this down into some real-life scenarios, right? Maybe this person is, a therapist or a counselor, and they're really good at helping other people process their emotions. But, they're so busy taking care of others that they're neglecting their own emotional needs. They're, pouring from an empty cup, and eventually they're going to burn out. Or maybe this person is, in a leadership position at work, and they're really good at, managing their team and resolving conflicts. But, they're so focused on maintaining harmony that they're avoiding difficult conversations and letting important issues fester. Or maybe this person is, in a relationship, and they're really good at, being supportive and understanding. But, they're so afraid of upsetting their partner that they're not expressing their own needs and desires. They are sacrificing their own happiness for the sake of the relationship. So, what's the message here? What's the universe trying to tell you with this King of Cups card? Well, I think it's about finding that balance between, compassion and boundaries, between empathy and self-care, between emotional expression and emotional control. It's about learning to navigate your own emotions in a healthy way without suppressing them or being controlled by them. And it's about having those strong boundaries, like we saw from the Nine of Wands energy. And it's also about being authentic in your emotional expression, about showing the world who you really are, flaws and all. Because, that's when you're truly connecting with others, right? When you're being vulnerable, when you're being real. That's when you're truly unveiling the depths. And that's when you are able to fully share your light, inspired from the star. And this is where that Labradorite crystal comes in again, right? Because the Labradorite is all about flowing with change, about seeing the magic in the mundane. So, it's about finding a way to flow with your emotions, to see the magic even in the difficult ones. It's about recognizing that all emotions are valid, that they all have something to teach you. And it's about trusting that you have the inner strength to navigate whatever emotional challenges come your way. So, how do you actually embody this King of Cups energy in your own life? Well, I think it starts with, practicing self-compassion. Being kind to yourself, especially when you're struggling. Recognizing that you're not perfect, that you're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. And then, practicing emotional intelligence. Learning to identify your own emotions, understanding where they're coming from, and managing them in a healthy way. And practicing empathy. Trying to see things from other people's perspectives, understanding their feelings, and responding with compassion. All this energy really flows with all the cards we saw today, and it comes together as an important part of your life. And it's also about setting healthy boundaries. Knowing what you're willing to give, what you're not willing to give, and communicating those boundaries clearly and respectfully. And it's about taking care of your own emotional needs. Making sure you're getting enough rest, eating healthy food, exercising, spending time in nature, doing things that bring you joy. You have to refill your cup before helping others. It's so important. And it's about being authentic in your emotional expression. Showing the world who you really are, flaws and all. Not trying to be someone you're not trying to please everyone, just being true to yourself. The universe is telling you this over and over. I really mean it. So, what's the potential outcome of all this? What happens if you truly embrace this King of Cups energy? Well, I think you'll find that you're able to create deeper, more meaningful connections with others. You'll be able to navigate difficult situations with grace and compassion. You'll be able to inspire others to heal and grow. And you'll be able to live a life that's more authentic, more fulfilling, and more aligned with your true values. That Three of Swords heartache will finally be something of the past. And that's what it's all about, right? It's not about having it all like we saw with the potential trap of the Ten of Pentacles. It's about being true to yourself, about living a life that's aligned with your values, and about making a positive impact on the world. You are here to leave your mark. So, yeah, the King of Cups is a powerful card, and it's a really beautiful way to end this reading. It's a reminder that you have the power to master your emotions, to create emotional balance in your life, and to share your compassion with the world. And you can flow with it using the lessons from the Labradorite crystal. I am so excited for you to take all of these lessons with you and to use this powerful reading as a catalyst for change and growth. Remember to take time to rest, to be strong, and to let your true colors shine. I am so excited to see what you do next. You got this. All right, so you chose the Garnet cluster, which is all about grounding, and our theme today is rooted desires, the core of their being. So we are really digging deep, like down to the nitty-gritty of what they really want, what's truly in their heart, not just the surface level stuff. Ooh, this is gonna be good. Okay, let's get into these cards. First up, we have death. Now, don't freak out. It's not like a literal death, okay? Death in tarot is all about transformation, endings, and new beginnings. Think of it as a caterpillar turning into a butterfly, or, the end of a really, really long winter. So, what this card is telling us is that there's something in their life that needs to end, something that's run its course. And honestly, it's probably something they've been holding onto for way too long. Maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a job, maybe it's even just an old way of thinking or a limiting belief. Whatever it is, it's not serving them anymore, and the universe is like, okay, time to cut the cord. This could be a really painful process, I'm not gonna lie. Endings are never easy, especially when you're attached to something, even if it's bad for you. But this death card is so necessary because it's clearing the way for something new and amazing to come into their life. Think of it as spring cleaning for the soul, You gotta get rid of all the junk before you can make room for the good stuff. And the thing is, this transformation isn't just happening to them, it's happening within them. They're changing on a fundamental level, shedding old skin, and emerging as a stronger, wiser, and more authentic version of themselves. It's like they are facing a part of themselves that they have been hesitant to see. And now, this is forcing them to make changes from within. This might involve some deep introspection, maybe some therapy, maybe just a lot of soul-searching walks in nature. Whatever it takes, they need to connect with their inner self and figure out what truly matters to them, and what they need to let go of in order to move forward. It could also be a long-held dream that they are finally letting go of, or perhaps a belief in someone that has now, due to circumstances, revealed itself to be a false belief. I feel like, whatever it is something that they really, really wanted to be true. Something they placed a lot of their energy on being true. You know how it feels when you are believing in something with all your heart and soul, and then bam, you discover it was all a lie? I feel like that's the kind of death we are talking about here. The death of a deeply held belief. And I feel that for some of you, this is going to feel more literal than not, in that it is something that can be seen in the 3D okay. So it could be a job, it could be a relationship, or it could be something along those lines, but for others of you, it's going to be something that you're not going to see, it's something that you feel within. The rumblings of discontent, if you will. That thing that tells you, this is no longer for me. And you keep fighting it, but it never goes away. Until one day, you are forced to face it. So yeah, death is all about endings and new beginnings. It's about transformation and letting go. It's about shedding old skin and emerging as a stronger, wiser, and more authentic version of yourself. And it's about making room for the good stuff to come into your life. So embrace the change, even if it's scary, because on the other side of this ending is a whole new world of possibilities. Now, how does that connect with our next card, Temperance? Well, Temperance is all about balance, harmony, and finding the middle ground. After a major transformation like the one represented by the Death card, it's natural to feel a little off-kilter, right? Like you've just been through a whirlwind and you're not quite sure which way is up. That's where Temperance comes in. This card is all about finding your center, restoring equilibrium, and creating a sense of peace and harmony within yourself and in your life. Temperance is showing us how they're trying to navigate this new landscape, how they're trying to find their footing after all the dust has settled. It's about integrating the lessons they've learned from the Death card and using them to create a more balanced and fulfilling life. It's about moderation in all things, avoiding extremes, and finding that sweet spot where everything just feels right. And I feel like after such a big change, they are going to be craving that feeling of peace and harmony more than ever. Think of it like mixing two different liquids together to create a perfect blend. You can't just dump them in and hope for the best. You have to carefully measure and combine them until you get the right consistency and flavor. That's what temperance is all about, finding the right ingredients and mixing them together in the right proportions to create something beautiful and harmonious. And this isn't just about external balance, like balancing work and play or balancing your budget. It's also about internal balance. It's about balancing your emotions, your thoughts, and your spiritual needs. It's about finding a way to be both grounded and connected, both practical and intuitive, both strong and compassionate. It's about accepting all parts of yourself, even the ones you don't like, and integrating them into a cohesive whole. It's about recognizing that you are both the light and the dark, and learning to embrace both aspects of yourself. I also feel like this temperance card is telling us that they're learning to be more patient with themselves and with others. After a major transformation, it takes time to heal, to adjust, and to integrate the changes into your life. It's not something that happens overnight. So, they need to be gentle with themselves, to allow themselves to feel whatever they're feeling, and to trust that they're on the right path, even if they can't see the destination yet. And, this temperance card also suggests that they're becoming more diplomatic and understanding in their relationships. They're learning to see things from other people's perspectives, to listen with empathy, and to find common ground. They're realizing that conflict is often the result of misunderstandings, and that by communicating clearly and compassionately, they can resolve differences and build stronger, more meaningful connections. So they're learning, or they are going to learn, the power of seeing the other person's point of view. Not necessarily agreeing, but understanding. It's like they're finally realizing that they don't have to be right all the time, and that sometimes it's more important to be kind and understanding. This is a huge step forward for them, and it's going to have a positive impact on all of their relationships, both personal and professional. And this is helping them realize what is truly in their heart. So what is in their heart? To create harmonious relationships, that's what it is. To be the peacemaker, to see both sides of the story. That is truly beautiful and a huge transformation from where they once were. But hold on, because we also have the Five of Swords. Okay, this is where things get a little tricky. The Five of Swords is all about conflict, betrayal, and feeling defeated. It's about winning a battle but losing the war, about achieving a short-term victory at the expense of long-term relationships and integrity. It's like, even though they're trying to find balance and harmony with temperance, there's still a part of them that's clinging to old patterns of behavior, a part of them that's driven by ego and a need to be right. This card is showing us that even though they're going through this transformation and trying to create a more balanced life, they're still struggling with some internal conflicts. Maybe they're battling their own demons, maybe they're dealing with difficult people in their lives, or maybe they're just feeling overwhelmed by all the changes that are happening. But whatever it is, this Five of Swords is a warning that they need to be careful not to fall back into old habits of aggression, manipulation, or self-sabotage. It's like their ego is fighting back, trying to regain control after being challenged by the Death card. They might be tempted to engage in petty arguments, to gossip behind people's backs, or to try to get ahead at the expense of others. But this card is saying that those tactics will ultimately backfire and leave them feeling even more empty and defeated. It's like they might win the battle, but they'll lose the war because they'll damage their relationships and compromise their own integrity. So, they really need to watch out for this temptation and make a conscious effort to choose a higher path. And this Five of Swords can also indicate that they're feeling victimized or taken advantage of. Maybe they've been betrayed by someone they trusted, or maybe they're feeling like they're always getting the short end of the stick. But this card is a reminder that they have the power to change their situation. They don't have to be a victim. They can stand up for themselves, set boundaries, and create a life where they're treated with respect and fairness. It's like they need to realize that they're not powerless and that they have the ability to create their own reality. But they have to be willing to take responsibility for their choices and actions and to stop blaming others for their problems. This is a tough lesson to learn, but it's essential for their long-term happiness and success. I feel like they are realizing that everyone is on their own journey and that they need to stop comparing themselves to others. I also feel like they are realizing that they can create their own reality and that they are not victims of circumstance. The Five of Swords is almost like a test, a challenge to see if they've really learned the lessons of the Death and Temperance cards. Have they truly let go of the old, limiting beliefs and patterns of behavior? Have they truly found balance and harmony within themselves? Or are they still clinging to ego and fear? The choices they make now will determine the outcome. So this is really a crucial moment for them. What's in their heart here? I feel like it is the battle between ego and their higher selves. Who will win? Okay, so wow, judgment, right? After all that, after the Death card, the Temperance card, and even the Five of Swords, judgment is like a huge wake-up call, you know? It's not just about little shifts anymore. It's about a major reevaluation, a total rethinking of everything. So okay, what's really in their heart, right? That's what we're trying to figure out here. And with judgment, it's like the universe is shining a spotlight on their soul, saying, okay, it's time to decide. It's time to answer the call. You know, with the Garnet cluster being all about grounding, it makes me think this judgment card is about finally getting real with themselves, like down to earth, no more BS. What do they really want? And are they living in alignment with that? Because the thing about judgment is, it's not always comfortable, right? It can be a little harsh, like holding up a mirror and forcing you to see yourself, flaws and all. But the cool thing is, it's also about redemption. It's about being given a second chance, a chance to make things right, to rise above the past. So maybe, just maybe, this judgment card is showing us that all those struggles with the Five of Swords, all that inner conflict, it was all leading up to this. Like they had to go through that darkness to get to this point of clarity, this moment of truth. And okay, how does this connect with the Death card? Well, the Death card was all about endings, right? Letting go of what no longer serves. But judgment is about what happens after the ending. It's about rebirth, resurrection, like rising from the ashes, you know? So they've shed the old, but now they have to decide what to become. What kind of person do they want to be? What kind of life do they want to create? And temperance. That's still super important here, because judgment isn't about being impulsive or reckless. It's about making conscious, deliberate choices that are aligned with their highest good. It's about finding that balance, that harmony that temperance represents, and using it as a compass to guide them forward. But the Five of Swords, that's the tricky part, right? Because even though they're being called to a higher purpose, even though they're being given this opportunity to start fresh, that ego, that need to be right, it's still lurking in the shadows. So, they have to be really careful not to let their ego get in the way of their judgment. They have to be willing to admit their mistakes, to forgive themselves and others, and to move forward with humility and compassion. I feel like, for some of you, this judgment card is about a legal matter. Like a literal judgment, a court case, something like that. It's like the universe is intervening, and a decision is going to be made that will have a major impact on their life. It could be a positive outcome, a chance to finally put things behind them. Or it could be a wake-up call, a reminder that they need to take responsibility for their actions. But for others of you, I think it's more internal. It's about their own self-judgment. They've been so hard on themselves, so critical, that they've lost sight of their own worth. And this judgment card is saying, enough is enough. It's time to forgive yourself, to accept yourself, and to start treating yourself with kindness and compassion. You know, it's like they've been carrying around this heavy weight of guilt and shame, and it's been holding them back from living their best life. But now, they have the opportunity to release that weight, to forgive themselves, and to move forward with a renewed sense of purpose and hope. And I feel like this is really connected to their relationships. Maybe they've been holding onto resentment or anger towards someone in their life. or maybe they've been afraid to express their true feelings. But this Judgment card is saying that it's time to clear the air, to have those difficult conversations, and to create more authentic and meaningful connections. It's like they need to be honest with themselves and with others about what they truly want and need in their relationships. And they need to be willing to let go of any relationships that are no longer serving them. Because sometimes, the most loving thing you can do is to walk away, to create space for both yourself and the other person to grow and heal. This could also be a sign that someone from their past is going to reappear in their life. Someone they haven't seen or heard from in a long time. And this reunion could be a catalyst for major change. It could be a chance to heal old wounds, to forgive each other, and to create a new chapter in their relationship. Or it could be a reminder of past mistakes, a chance to learn from them, and to move forward with greater wisdom and understanding. Okay, so what's really in their heart here? I think it's a deep longing for authenticity. A desire to live a life that is true to themselves, to their values, and to their purpose. They're tired of pretending, of trying to be someone they're not. They want to be real, raw, and authentic, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to achieve that. But the thing is, authenticity isn't always easy, right? It requires courage, vulnerability, and a willingness to be judged by others. It means letting go of the need to please everyone and embracing your own unique quirks and imperfections. And that can be scary. But this Judgment card is saying that it's worth it. That the rewards of living an authentic life are far greater than the risks. That when you're true to yourself, you attract the right people, the right opportunities, and the right experiences into your life. I also feel like this Judgment card is about their career. Maybe they've been feeling stuck in a job that doesn't fulfill them, or maybe they've been afraid to pursue their true passions. But this card is saying that it's time to take a leap of faith, to follow their dreams, and to create a career that is aligned with their values and their purpose. It's like they need to ask themselves, what am I really good at? What do I really enjoy doing? And how can I use my talents and skills to make a positive impact on the world? And then, they need to go out there and make it happen. They need to stop waiting for permission and start creating their own opportunities. This could also be a sign that they're going to receive recognition or reward for their hard work. Maybe they're going to get a promotion, a raise, or some other form of acknowledgement. But this isn't just about the money or the status. It's about the validation that comes from knowing that you're making a difference, that you're contributing something meaningful to the world. And with the Garnet cluster being all about grounding, I think this Judgment card is also about connecting with their roots, with their heritage, with their family history. Maybe they need to learn more about their ancestors, to understand where they came from, and to honor their legacy. It's like they need to recognize that they're part of something bigger than themselves, that they're connected to a long line of people who have shaped and influenced their life. And by understanding their roots, they can gain a deeper understanding of themselves and their purpose. Okay, so, the core of their being, their rooted desires. It's all about living an authentic, purposeful life that is aligned with their values and their dreams. It's about forgiving themselves and others, letting go of the past, and embracing the future with hope and optimism. It's about connecting with their roots, honoring their heritage, and creating a legacy that they can be proud of. But how is this going to play out? What are the next steps they need to take? Oh my gosh, I am so excited to see what the next card is, because this is like a major turning point for them. Seriously, the next card is going to reveal so much about their path forward. What kind of energy are they bringing in? What are they attracting? Oh, I can't wait. Oh my gosh, okay, here we go, and we have the world. Oh my goodness. Okay, after all of that, after death and temperance and the 5 of Swords drama and that judgment call. The world, it's like, they did it, you know? It's like they actually freaking did it. Completion. Fulfillment. This is huge. So what's really in their heart? With the World card showing up, it's like their heart is saying, I did it. I actually did it. A sense of accomplishment, like reaching the top of a mountain after a really long climb, you know? It's that feeling of finally arriving, of being exactly where you're supposed to be. And with that Garnet cluster energy, this isn't just some fleeting moment of happiness. This is grounded, this is real, this is lasting. But hold on, because it's never just that simple, is it? Especially with everything they've been through. So how does this connect with those earlier cards? With death, it's like that ending wasn't just an ending, it was a necessary step to get here, to this feeling of wholeness. They had to let go of something big, something that was holding them back, in order to step into this new reality. That death card cleared the path for this world card to even be possible. And temperance? Oh my gosh, that's so important here. Because the world isn't just about achieving a goal, it's about doing it with balance and harmony. It's about integrating all the different parts of themselves, the light and the dark, the masculine and the feminine, the practical and the spiritual, you know? It's like they've finally found that sweet spot, that place of equilibrium where everything just feels right. They learned that lesson, and now they have attained a beautiful equilibrium. But then we have that pesky Five of Swords, right? That little troublemaker. So, even with this amazing sense of completion, there's still a part of them that remembers that struggle, that battle with their ego. Maybe there are still some lingering doubts, some fears that they're not good enough or that they don't deserve this happiness. But the World card is saying, yes, you are. You've earned this. You've overcome those challenges, and you've come out stronger on the other side. It's like they're finally realizing that they don't have to be perfect to be worthy of love and success. And judgment. Oh, that's the key, isn't it? Because judgment was all about that wake-up call, that moment of truth where they had to decide what kind of person they wanted to be. And the World card is showing us that they made the right choice. They answered the call, they stepped into their true potential, and they've created a life that is aligned with their soul's purpose. It's like that Judgment card was the turning point, and the World is the result of that decision. They chose to embrace authenticity, and now they are reaping the rewards. They chose to be the best version of themselves. Okay, but let's dig a little deeper here, because the World isn't just about personal fulfillment, it's also about connection to something larger than themselves. This card often represents travel, both literal and metaphorical. So maybe they're planning a trip, a chance to explore new cultures and broaden their horizons. Or maybe this travel is more internal, a journey of self-discovery that takes them to new levels of understanding and awareness. Either way, the World is inviting them to expand their perspective and to see themselves as part of a global community. I feel like this could mean a literal trip around the world. How exciting is that? All expenses paid. Maybe we will see. And you know, with the Garnet being all about grounding, this travel isn't just about escaping or running away from their problems. It's about connecting with the earth, with the energy of different places, and with the people who inhabit them. It's about finding a sense of belonging in the world, of feeling like they're part of something bigger than themselves. They are going to embrace this feeling. They are going to love this feeling. I also feel like the World is about mastery. It's about integrating all the lessons they've learned along the way and using them to create something beautiful and meaningful. They've gone through so much, they've faced so many challenges, and they've emerged as a wiser, stronger, and more compassionate person. And now, they have the opportunity to share their wisdom with others, to be a mentor, a guide, a teacher. It's like they've earned their stripes, and they're ready to help others on their own journeys. I feel like there may be people coming to them for advice now, because people will sense they have overcome so much, and that will draw people to them. This could also mean they are mastering a skill. Something they have been working towards for a while, and now they have finally reached the pinnacle of their learning curve. They are going to feel like they can do anything. And they can. This card is all about celebrating everything you have to offer. You made it. With the Five of Swords still lingering in the background, they need to be careful not to let their ego get in the way of their teaching. They need to remember that they're not perfect, that they still have things to learn, and that the best way to help others is to lead by example, to be authentic and vulnerable, and to share their own struggles as well as their successes. Okay, but here's the thing. Is the World really the end? I don't think so. I think it's more like a launch pad. It's like they've completed one cycle, but now they're ready to start another one, a bigger, bolder, more exciting one. The World is showing us that they've reached a new level of understanding, a new level of awareness, and a new level of potential. And now, they have the opportunity to use that to create something truly amazing, something that will have a lasting impact on the world. It is definitely a launching point. They are going to take all the lessons they have learned and apply them to bigger and better things. A promotion is coming to mind. Something big is coming to mind. What's in their heart? It is joy. It is satisfaction. It is the knowing that they have come so far and they are capable of doing anything they set their mind to. It is a beautiful feeling. But the question is, what's next? Where do they go from here? What new adventures await them? Oh, I can't wait to see what the next card is. Because this is just the beginning, I can feel it. I am so excited to see what is coming. What door will open next? What will they choose? What are they truly going to choose? Oh, this is so good. I am getting goosebumps just thinking about it. The next card is really going to tell us where they are headed. So stay tuned. Okay, so after the world, right? You're feeling like you've reached the top, you've achieved something amazing, and then bam, we get justice. Hold on a second, because this isn't about throwing a wrench in the works. It's about making sure that the foundation is solid, that everything is fair and balanced. You know, so justice. It's all about truth, fairness, and accountability. It's about facing the consequences of your actions, both good and bad. It's about making amends for past mistakes and ensuring that everyone is treated with respect and dignity. And with that Garnet cluster energy, this isn't just some abstract concept, this is grounded in reality. This is about real life, real situations, real people. So, what's really in their heart with this justice card showing up? I think it's a deep desire for fairness, not just for themselves, but for others too. They want to live in a world where everyone has equal opportunities and where everyone is held accountable for their actions. You know, that kind of thing. And after achieving that sense of completion with the world, this justice card is like a call to action. It's saying, okay, you've reached your own personal summit, but now what are you going to do with that success? How are you going to use your power and influence to make the world a better place? Okay, let's connect this to those earlier cards, right? With death, it's like, that ending wasn't just about personal transformation, it was also about clearing the way for justice to prevail. Maybe they had to let go of something unfair or unjust in their life in order to create space for something better. Maybe they had to end a relationship, or leave a job, or confront a difficult situation in order to restore balance and harmony. And temperance. Oh my gosh, that's so crucial here. Because justice isn't about being rigid or judgmental, it's about finding that middle ground, that place of equilibrium where everyone's needs are considered. It's about being fair and compassionate, not just to yourself, but to others as well. You know, it's like they need to temper their own sense of justice with understanding and empathy, to find that balance. But that Five of Swords, that's still lurking there, isn't it? So, even with this desire for fairness, there's still a part of them that might be tempted to take shortcuts, to bend the rules, or to get ahead at the expense of others. Maybe they're still struggling with that ego, that need to be right, that desire to win at all costs. But this justice card is a warning that those tactics will ultimately backfire. That true justice is about integrity, honesty, and treating everyone with respect, even those you disagree with. And judgment? Oh, that's the big one, right? Because judgment was all about that wake-up call, that moment of truth where they had to decide what kind of person they wanted to be. And justice is showing us the consequences of that decision. If they chose to embrace authenticity and integrity, then justice will be on their side. But if they chose to cling to ego and fear, then they may face some difficult consequences. You know, I feel like, for some of you, this justice card is about a legal matter. Like a literal court case, a contract dispute, or some other kind of legal entanglement. It's like the universe is saying, okay, it's time to resolve this issue once and for all. It's time to seek justice and to ensure that everyone is treated fairly. This could be a positive outcome, a chance to finally put things behind them and move forward with a clean slate. Or it could be a wake-up call, a reminder that they need to take responsibility for their actions and make amends for past mistakes. But for others of you, I think it's more internal. It's about their own sense of justice. Maybe they've been feeling guilty or ashamed about something they did in the past. Or maybe they've been holding onto resentment or anger towards someone who wronged them. But this Justice card is saying that it's time to forgive themselves and others, to release that negativity, and to move forward with a renewed sense of peace and harmony. You know, it's like they need to ask themselves, what is truly fair and just in this situation? What can I do to make things right? And then, they need to take action, even if it's difficult or uncomfortable. This could also be a sign that they're going to be called upon to be an advocate for someone else. Maybe a friend, a family member, or even a stranger who is being treated unfairly. It's like the universe is saying, you have a voice, you have a platform, and you have the power to make a difference. So, use it. Stand up for what's right, even if it's unpopular or challenging. And you know, with the Garnet cluster being all about grounding, this Justice card is also about taking practical steps to create a more just and equitable world. Maybe they need to volunteer their time, donate to a worthy cause, or speak out against injustice in their community. It's like they need to translate their ideals into action to make a tangible difference in the lives of others. Okay, so what's really in their heart here? I think it's a deep desire to create a world where everyone is treated with fairness, respect, and dignity. They want to be a force for good in the world, to stand up for what's right, and to make a positive impact on the lives of others. But they also need to be mindful of their own actions, to ensure that they're living in alignment with their values and that they're not contributing to injustice in any way. But hold on a second, because there's another layer to this, right? Justice isn't just about external fairness, it's also about karmic balance. It's about the idea that what you put out into the world will eventually come back to you, whether it's good or bad. So, if they've been living a life of integrity and kindness, then they can expect to receive positive karma in return. But if they've been engaging in negative or harmful behavior, then they may face some difficult consequences. You know. This isn't about punishment or revenge, it's about learning and growth. It's about the universe providing opportunities for them to correct their mistakes and to evolve into a better version of themselves. So, if they're facing some challenges right now, it's important for them to reflect on their past actions and to see if there's anything they need to make amends for. I also feel like this Justice card is about setting boundaries. Maybe they've been letting people take advantage of them, or maybe they've been allowing themselves to be treated unfairly. But this card is saying that it's time to stand up for themselves, to set clear boundaries, and to protect their own energy and well-being. It's like they need to realize that they deserve to be treated with respect and dignity, and that they have the right to say no to anything that doesn't feel right for them. And with that World card energy still swirling around, it's like this Justice card is a reminder that their personal success is intertwined with the success of others. That they can't truly achieve fulfillment until everyone has equal opportunities and until everyone is treated with fairness and respect. So, it's not enough to just focus on their own personal goals. They need to also consider the needs of the community and to use their power and influence to create a more just and equitable world for all. Okay, so what's really in their heart? It's a complex mix of desires, isn't it? A desire for personal success, a desire for fairness and justice, a desire for karmic balance, and a desire to make a positive impact on the world. But the key is to find a way to integrate all of those desires into a cohesive whole, to live a life that is both fulfilling and meaningful, both personally and socially. I think this is urging you to make sure you are in alignment with your own values. You need to stand up for what you believe in and stand tall. Do not let anyone push you around, and do not let anyone take advantage of you. Know your worth and do not settle for anything less. You deserve the world. But how is this all going to play out? What are the next steps they need to take to ensure that justice prevails in their lives and in the world around them? What area of their life needs the most attention right now? Oh my gosh, I am so excited to see what the next card is. Because this Justice card is like a turning point, a call to action. Seriously, the next card is going to reveal so much about their path forward. What kind of energy are they bringing in? What are they attracting? What are they manifesting? Oh, I can't wait. What is going to come up next? It is going to be a wild ride, I can feel it. Oh my gosh, okay. So after justice, after figuring out what is fair, figuring out how to live in the world and how you want to be seen, and now we have the Five of Wands. Oh wow, okay, so here it is. And that garnet cluster grounding us. Five of Wands, it is like, what is going on? So Five of Wands, right? It is like conflict, but not like the Five of Swords. This is more like chaotic energy. It is like everyone is fighting for attention. Everyone's got their own ideas. It's like trying to herd cats, So what is really in their heart, right? And now we see this Five of Wands. It is like there is this desire to be seen and heard and validated. It is like the universe is throwing a bunch of different energies at them, and they are trying to figure out how to manage it all. How to sort through it. So how does this connect with the other cards we got? So, with death, it's like the old is gone, right? Transformation, all that stuff. But now what are they fighting for? What is worth fighting for after all that transformation? With Temperance, it's like they're trying to find balance, they are really trying. But this Five of Wands is like throwing a wrench into it, It is like, oh, you want balance? Well, here's a whole lot of chaos, let's see how you deal with that. With the Five of Swords. It's like they are trying to get past that ego. Trying not to be so competitive or cutthroat, but this Five of Wands is like, no, you still need to fight for what you want. And then judgment is looming over all of this. They have made a decision on how to show up and how to act and what to believe in. And now the universe is testing them. Again. And then justice. Okay, you want to be fair. Then make sure that you are also fighting for yourself, not just everyone else. You can't just be a doormat. You have to stand up for what you believe in. And then we get the world, and they are on top of the world, right? They feel like they have accomplished everything. But this Five of Wands is a reminder that the journey never really ends. There are always going to be challenges, there are always going to be obstacles. It is like, okay, you made it to the top of one mountain, but now it is time to climb another one. They need to keep that in mind. I feel like, for some of you, this Five of Wands is about a work environment. It is like everyone is competing for promotions, for recognition, for resources. There is a lot of tension, a lot of drama, and they are trying to navigate it all without getting caught in the crossfire. This card is telling them they need to find a way to stand out from the crowd without being aggressive or manipulative. They need to be assertive, but also collaborative. I feel like if they can get to the other side of this, they are really going to learn how to use their voice and speak their mind. It is like they need to find a way to shine without dimming anyone else's light, and I feel like they can really do that. But for others, I feel like this Five of Wands is about their inner circle. Friends or family. Everyone has an opinion, everyone is trying to give advice, and it is all just too much. They are feeling overwhelmed and pulled in a million different directions. This card is telling them they need to set boundaries and protect their energy. They need to tune out the noise and listen to their own intuition. If they can do that, they will feel so much better. It is like they need to realize they don't have to take everyone's advice. They can listen, they can consider, but ultimately, they need to make their own decisions. And they need to trust themselves to make the right choices. They have to follow their own path. And with that garnet cluster, this is like really grounding this. This isn't just some fleeting feeling, this is deep-seated. So what is really in their heart? With this Five of Wands, I think there is a real fear of being overlooked. A fear of not being good enough, a fear of not being seen or heard. They want to be recognized for their talents and their accomplishments, but they also don't want to step on anyone's toes or create conflict. It is a tough spot to be in. They want to be seen, but they don't want to be too seen. They want to stand out, but not too much. It is a delicate balance. I feel like they are walking a tightrope and they are afraid of falling off. They are scared of making a mistake, of saying the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing. They are trying to be perfect, but that is just not possible, They need to give themselves permission to be imperfect, to make mistakes, and to learn from them. They need to realize that it is okay to not have all the answers. It is okay to ask for help. They do not have to be the best at everything. They just need to be themselves and do their best. That is all anyone can ask for. This could also be about their creative pursuits. So many ideas, so many projects, but they don't know where to start. They feel scattered and overwhelmed. They need to focus their energy and prioritize. Choose one thing and see it through. It is like they have a million tabs open in their browser and their computer is about to crash, They need to close some of those tabs and focus on what is important. And with the World card still in the mix, it is like they have achieved so much, but now they are feeling restless. They are ready for a new challenge, a new adventure, but they are not sure what that is yet. They are feeling a little lost. This is a good opportunity to try some new things and see what works for them. They are going to figure it out. They need to explore their interests, take some classes, meet new people. Step outside their comfort zone and see what happens. They may be surprised at what they discover. You know, they are more than capable. And with the Justice card, I think they need to really look at what is fair. Are they being fair to themselves? Are they giving themselves enough credit? Or are they being too hard on themselves? They need to find that balance. They need to treat themselves with the same compassion and understanding that they would offer to others. Oh my gosh, it could also be about their values. What do they really believe in? What is important to them? They need to align their actions with their values and make sure they are living a life that is true to themselves, because then they will be unstoppable. So, the core of their being, their rooted desires. It is all about finding their voice, standing up for what they believe in, and creating a life that is authentic and fulfilling. It is about navigating the chaos and competition and coming out stronger on the other side. This card can represent a challenge, but it also represents an opportunity. It is like they are going to come through this stronger. What is the next step? What is going to help them? Oh my gosh, I am so excited to see what the next card is. What is the universe going to throw at them next? I am so excited to see what's coming. What door will open next? What will they choose? What are they truly going to choose? Oh, this is so good. Oh, I can feel it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so after all of that, after Justice, after the Five of Wands, after figuring out what is fair and how to live in the world, we get the Tower? Seriously? Wow, okay, this is intense to say the least. Okay, so the Tower, right? Boom, it's like everything is changing like right now. It's like the universe is saying, okay, time to shake things up. This wasn't on the bingo card, was it? Oh my gosh, all that work we just did with all the other cards. And look at this one now. Okay, so what's really in their heart with the Tower showing up? I think it's a mix of fear and excitement, honestly. Like, part of them is probably terrified, because the Tower is all about sudden change, unexpected events, and things falling apart. But another part of them, deep down, is probably like, yes, finally, because maybe, just maybe, they knew that something had to give. You know, that things couldn't keep going the way they were going. And honestly, the Tower, even though it looks scary, is often a really necessary card. Think of it this way. Sometimes you have to tear down the old to make way for the new. Sometimes you have to demolish a building that's structurally unsound to build something stronger and more beautiful in its place. The Tower is like that. It's like whatever foundation they've been building on, whatever structure they've created in their life, it wasn't solid enough. There were cracks in the foundation, maybe some hidden weaknesses, and now the universe is stepping in to clear it all away so they can start over. This Tower is going to do that for them. It's going to clear away the debris. And the thing about the Tower is, it's often something that's beyond their control. It's not like they chose this or asked for it, it's just happening. Maybe it's a job loss, maybe it's a relationship breakup, maybe it's a health crisis, maybe it's just some kind of major life upheaval that throws everything into chaos. But whatever it is, it's going to force them to reevaluate everything. You know, all those other cards, let's connect them up now. This is going to be so good. Okay, so with Death, it's like that ending was just the beginning, right? The Death card cleared away the old, but the Tower is like taking it to the next level. It's not just about letting go of something, it's about completely dismantling it. You know, that Death card was only preparing them for this moment. But now what about Temperance? That's a good point. What about Temperance with all that nice balance? And then the Tower comes and destroys it all? Yeah, well, Temperance is about finding balance, right? But maybe they weren't really balanced. Maybe they were just pretending to be. Maybe they were ignoring some key issues or trying to maintain a sense of harmony that wasn't really genuine. The Tower is like ripping off the mask and revealing the truth. Oh my gosh, this is so good. So that balance they thought they had, the Tower is like, absolutely not. And then the Five of Swords, right? All that conflict and ego, the Tower is like the ultimate consequence of that. If they've been clinging to that ego, if they've been trying to win at all costs, if they've been engaging in manipulative or harmful behavior, the tower is going to bring them down. It's like karma catching up with them. All of that ego wasn't really serving them. And justice too, that justice is now here. You have to be accountable for yourself. No more hiding, no more ego. And judgment? Oh my gosh, that's huge here. Because judgment was all about that wake-up call, that moment of truth. They decided to show up a certain way in the world. And the tower. Oh, the tower is asking them if they meant it. Are you sure you wanted to show up that way, or are you going to crumble? And then the world, that card of completion and accomplishment. Maybe they thought they had it all figured out, right? They were on top of the world. But the tower is like a reminder that life is always changing, that you can never really be completely done. There's always more to learn, more to grow, more to evolve. That feeling on top of the world, not permanent. And then the Five of Wands is like, what are they really fighting for? What's worth fighting for? Well, it is all about showing who you truly are and standing tall. What do you believe in? Show the world. What do you have to say? And with the tower, now the stage is set to go. You are ready to be your authentic self. So, okay, what does this mean for them, like in a practical sense? Well, it depends on what area of their life is being affected by the tower. If it's their job, they might lose their job or experience some kind of major shakeup at work. If it's their relationship, they might go through a breakup or a major conflict. If it's their health, they might receive a difficult diagnosis or experience some kind of physical crisis. Whatever it is, it's going to be challenging. But it's also going to be an opportunity. And I can't stress this enough, it's a really important one. It's scary, but they can also be excited. The first thing they need to do is to take care of themselves. This is not a joke. It means getting enough sleep, eating healthy food, exercising, and spending time with people who support and love them. It means allowing themselves to feel their emotions without judging themselves or trying to suppress them. It means being kind and compassionate to themselves, especially when they're feeling overwhelmed or scared. This is crucial. This cannot be overstated. Self-care is key. The second thing they need to do is to focus on what they can control. They can't control what's happening to them, but they can control how they respond to it. They can choose to be resilient, to be optimistic, and to learn from their experiences. They can choose to focus on their strengths, their values, and their goals. They can choose to take action, to create a new plan, and to move forward with courage and determination. Focus on what you can do right now. And the third thing they need to do is to ask for help. They don't have to go through this alone. They can reach out to their friends, their family, their therapist, their spiritual advisor, or anyone else who can offer them support and guidance. It's okay to ask for help. It doesn't mean they're weak or incapable, it just means they're human. But oh my gosh, here is the cool part. The tower, at its heart, is about authenticity. It's about tearing down the false structures we've built in our lives and rebuilding on a foundation that's more true to ourselves. And with that garnet cluster, that grounding energy, it's like they have the strength and the resilience to get through this. This isn't just some random, chaotic event. This is part of their soul's journey. It's an opportunity for them to grow, to evolve, and to become the best version of themselves. Okay, what's really in their heart? With this tower, I think it's a desire to live a more authentic life. A desire to be true to themselves, to their values, and to their purpose. They're tired of pretending, of trying to be someone they're not. They want to be real, raw, and authentic. And the tower is giving them the opportunity to do just that. It's like the universe is saying, okay, you want to be authentic? Well, here's your chance. Let's see what you're really made of. You know. This is what this tower is going to do for them. Set the stage, and here's the thing. They can choose how they rebuild. They can rebuild the same old structure, the same old foundation, the same old life. Or they can choose to create something new, something better, something that's more aligned with their soul's purpose. This is their choice. Maybe it's a new career, maybe it's a new relationship, maybe it's a new way of living. Whatever it is, it's going to be more authentic, more fulfilling, and more aligned with their true selves. It is like they need to ask themselves, what do I really want? What am I really good at? And how can I use my talents and skills to make a positive impact on the world? And then they need to go out there and make it happen. This tower is setting them up for that. This might mean starting over. This might mean letting go of some dreams they had. But this is going to be a good thing because the universe is telling them it's time to dream new dreams. Time to dream bigger dreams. Your time is now. I think this might feel scary. It will be okay. You will get through this. So, in conclusion, what's really in their heart? It's the strength to rebuild, to become the best version of themselves. And there are so many possibilities. Oh my gosh, I am so excited for them. I know this is a challenging time, but it's also a time of great opportunity. They have the strength, the resilience, and the courage to get through this. And I know that on the other side of the tower, they're going to find a life that's more authentic, more fulfilling, and more aligned with their soul's purpose. I just know it. You got this. The tower isn't the end. It's a brand new. Okay, hey there, Moonstone Point people. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being here, and oh my gosh, if you picked this crystal, you were drawn to grounding, okay? This reading is all about grounding, because we are diving deep into hidden tides, the unspoken longings within. So, yeah, get ready, because this is going to be good. Alright, so let's jump right into these cards, and wow. We have the Wheel of Fortune, the Hierophant, and the Knight of Pentacles, all together. Okay, this is like a major moment in time. So let's start with the Wheel of Fortune, right? This card, it's all about cycles, change, destiny, and that feeling that things are just shifting, like big time, you know. For some of you, this could feel like fate is stepping in, like the universe is finally aligning to give you a push in the right direction. It's like all this time you've been putting in the work, and now, finally, the wheel is turning in your favor. But you know, the Wheel of Fortune isn't always about rainbows and unicorns. It's also about the lows, the challenges, the unexpected twists and turns that life throws our way, right? So, for some of you, this could mean that you're coming out of a really difficult period. Like, maybe you've been stuck in a rut or facing constant setbacks, but the wheel is turning and things are about to get better. Finally, think about it. Have you been feeling restless lately? Like you're on the verge of something? Yeah, this card totally confirms that. It's that feeling of anticipation, that knowing that something big is about to happen. This could be in any area of your life, honestly. It could be about love, like a new relationship is on the horizon, or maybe an existing relationship is about to reach a new level of commitment. Or, this could be about your career. Maybe you're about to get a promotion or finally land that dream job you've been working towards. Or it could even be something more personal, like a major breakthrough in your own personal growth journey. Like, all of a sudden, you just get it. You understand yourself better, But going back to those unspoken longings, what if this Wheel of Fortune moment is actually about facing something you've been avoiding? Like, a truth you haven't wanted to admit to yourself. Ouch, right? Maybe you've been ignoring your intuition or suppressing your true desires, and the universe is now forcing you to confront them. It's like, no more hiding. Time to be real with yourself. This card is saying the time to run from yourself is over. Think about a time when you felt stuck, really stuck. Maybe it was in a relationship that wasn't working or a job that was draining you. You knew you needed to make a change, but you were too afraid to take the leap. The Wheel of Fortune is about those moments. It's about recognizing that you have the power to change your circumstances, even when it feels like you don't. It's about recognizing that your resistance to change is actually the heaviest anchor holding you in place. And honestly, sometimes the biggest changes come when we least expect them. Like, out of the blue, bam, something happens that completely throws us off course. But those moments, they're often the most important. They force us to reevaluate our priorities, to question our beliefs, and to ultimately grow into better versions of ourselves. So, even if this change feels scary or overwhelming, trust that it's happening for a reason. It's all part of your journey. The ups, the downs, all of it. Like, imagine you've been working at a job you hate for years, right? You're just going through the motions, not really happy, but too afraid to quit and pursue your passion. Then, one day, the company announces layoffs, and you're one of the people who gets let go. At first, you're devastated, right? You feel lost and uncertain about the future. But after a few weeks, you start to realize that this is actually an opportunity. a chance to finally pursue your dreams, to start your own business, or to travel the world. The layoff, it was the catalyst for change, the push you needed to finally break free from your comfort zone. The layoff was the wheel of fortune in motion. So yeah, the Wheel of Fortune is all about embracing the unknown, trusting the process, and knowing that everything is always changing. The only constant is change, right? Even when things feel chaotic or uncertain, remember that you have the strength and resilience to get through anything. You've got this. So breathe and allow it, okay? Don't resist. Now, let's move on to the Hierophant. Ooh, this is where things get interesting. So, the Hierophant, he's all about tradition, beliefs, and established systems. He represents institutions like religion, education, and even social norms. It's like he's the gatekeeper of knowledge and the authority figure who dictates what's right and wrong, what's acceptable and unacceptable. But here's the thing, the Hierophant isn't necessarily a bad guy. He can provide structure, guidance, and a sense of belonging. He can help us understand the rules of the game, so to speak. However, he can also be restrictive, rigid, and out of touch with our individual needs and desires. And that's the tricky part, right? So, how does this relate to the Wheel of Fortune and those unspoken longings? Well, for some of you, the Hierophant could represent the internal conflict you're facing between your own beliefs and the expectations of others. Are you conforming to societal norms? Or are you breaking free and forging your own path? Are you living your life according to your own values, or are you trying to please everyone else? This is huge. It's like you have this deep desire to express yourself authentically, to live a life that's true to who you are, but you're held back by fear of judgment, fear of rejection, or fear of disappointing your family or community. So you're torn. It's an internal tug of war. Maybe you were raised in a strict religious household, and you've always been taught to follow certain rules and doctrines. But deep down, you question those beliefs, and you feel a longing to explore your own spirituality, to connect with something greater on your own terms. But you're afraid of what your family will think or what your community will say. You don't want to be seen as a rebel or an outcast. This is a Hierophant dilemma. What to do? Or maybe you've always been told that you need to go to college, get a good job, get married, and have kids. That's the right way to live according to society. But you don't want any of that. You want to travel the world, be a starving artist, and live a life of freedom and adventure. But you're afraid of failing or of being seen as irresponsible or immature. So, you suppress your desires and try to fit into the mold. But it just doesn't feel right. You're suffocating. The Hierophant can also represent a need for guidance or mentorship. Maybe you're seeking someone who can help you navigate this period of change, someone who can offer wisdom and support. This could be a teacher, a therapist, a spiritual advisor, or even a close friend or family member. The key is to find someone who resonates with you, someone who understands your values and can help you align with your true self. But be careful. Make sure you're not just looking for someone to tell you what you want to hear. You need someone who will challenge you, push you, and help you grow. And remember, it's okay to question authority. It's okay to challenge the status quo. It's okay to break the rules, as long as you're doing it with integrity and respect. The Hierophant isn't about blindly following tradition. It's about understanding the reasons behind those traditions and making conscious choices about what you want to keep and what you want to discard. It's about finding your own truth and living your life accordingly. Authenticity. That's your keyword here. So, yeah, the Hierophant is all about finding your own path, even if it means going against the grain. It's about honoring your values, trusting your intuition, and living a life that's true to who you are. Don't be afraid to question everything, to challenge everything, and to create your own rules. The world needs your unique perspective, your unique gifts, and your unique voice. This is your time to shine. Okay, now, last but not least, let's talk about the Knight of Pentacles. Ah, the Knight of Pentacles. This is where we get grounded, where we get practical. This knight, he's all about slow, steady progress, dedication, and commitment to a goal. He's not flashy or impulsive like some of the other knights. He's reliable, responsible, and persistent. He's the kind of person who sets a goal and then works tirelessly to achieve it, no matter how long it takes. He shows up every day and puts in the effort. He makes it happen. So, how does this knight fit into the picture? Well, he's the one who's going to help you turn that wheel of fortune into reality. He's the one who's going to take those beliefs and values that you've been exploring with the Hierophant and put them into action. He's the one who's going to help you manifest your dreams. He's the engine of change. Think about it. The Wheel of Fortune is all about potential, about the possibility of change. But without action, it's just a dream. It's just an idea. The Hierophant is all about values and beliefs, but without action, they're just empty words. They're just theories. The Knight of Pentacles is the one who bridges the gap between potential and reality, between belief and action. He's the one who says, okay, I know what I want and I'm willing to work for it. This knight is doing the work. Like, imagine you've decided you want to start your own business, right? That's the Wheel of Fortune moment. You've got the idea, you've got the passion, but you don't know where to start. The Hierophant comes in and helps you clarify your values, your mission, and your vision for the company. What do you want to create? What impact do you want to make? What are your core beliefs? Then, the Knight of Pentacles steps in and helps you create a business plan, secure funding, and build your team. He's the one who's making the calls, sending the emails, and putting in the long hours to make your dream a reality. This knight is the one making the dream a reality. Or, maybe you've decided you want to improve your health. That's the Wheel of Fortune moment. You're tired of feeling sluggish and unhealthy, and you want to make a change. The Hierophant helps you define your values and your goals. What does health mean to you? What kind of lifestyle do you want to create? What are your non-negotiables? Then, the Knight of Pentacles helps you create a workout plan, a meal plan, and a sleep schedule. He's the one who's going to the gym, cooking healthy meals, and getting enough rest. He's the one who's making the commitment to take care of his body and mind. This knight makes the commitment. The Knight of Pentacles reminds us that success doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, effort, and dedication. It takes patience, perseverance, and a willingness to overcome obstacles. But if you're willing to put in the work, you can achieve anything you set your mind to. Slow and steady wins the race, right? So don't get discouraged if you don't see results immediately. Just keep showing up, keep putting in the effort, and keep believing in yourself. You'll get there eventually. So, yeah, the Knight of Pentacles is all about taking action, staying committed, and manifesting your dreams into reality. He's about being reliable, responsible, and persistent. He's about showing up, doing the work, and making it happen. So embrace your inner Knight of Pentacles and start taking those steps towards your goals. You've got this. Wow. Okay, so looking at all these cards together, it's like this is a time of major transformation and alignment for you. The Wheel of Fortune is bringing change, the Hierophant is challenging your beliefs, and the Knight of Pentacles is helping you take action. So get ready. This is just the beginning, and we're going to dive even deeper into those unspoken longings and how to navigate all of this in the rest of the reading. Stay tuned. Okay, so where were we? Oh my gosh, this is getting so good. All right, so the next card, the next piece of this puzzle to really unlock what's going on, to tap into those hidden tides is the Chariot. Yes. Okay, so the Chariot, right? This card, it's all about willpower, control, and success. Like, it's about taking charge of your life and moving forward with confidence. You know. It's like you've got this incredible drive and determination, and you're not afraid to go after what you want. But here's the thing, the Chariot isn't just about blindly charging ahead. It's also about having focus, discipline, and a clear sense of direction, you know? It's about harnessing your emotions and your energy and using them to propel you forward, rather than letting them control you. So, how does this connect with everything else we've already seen? Well, remember the Wheel of Fortune? That was all about change and those shifts happening, right? The Chariot is about how you navigate that change. Are you going to let the chaos overwhelm you, or are you going to take the reins and steer your own course? It's about, the Wheel of Fortune sets the stage, and the Chariot is about you deciding how to perform, like, are you the star of your own show? And then there's the Hierophant, challenging your beliefs and traditions. The Chariot is about breaking free from those limitations and creating your own path. Like, you're not just blindly following the rules anymore. You're questioning everything, you're making your own decisions, and you're forging your own identity. It's about saying, okay, I understand the rules, but I'm going to play the game my way. The Chariot doesn't care about the rules. And finally, we have the Knight of Pentacles, who's all about taking action and manifesting your dreams. The Chariot is like the turbo boost that kicks that action into high gear. It's about adding that extra layer of determination and drive to really make things happen. It's about taking the Knight of Pentacles' slow and steady progress and turning it into a powerful surge forward. It's like you're not just plodding along anymore. You're speeding towards your goals with unstoppable momentum, and you're building that momentum. So, when you put it all together, it's like the Wheel of Fortune sets the stage for change, the Hierophant challenges your beliefs, the Knight of Pentacles gets you moving, and the Chariot gives you the power and the focus to really take control and achieve your dreams. But let's dig a little deeper, okay? Because this is where it gets really interesting. This card can also represent internal conflicts. You know, like those two horses pulling the chariot in opposite directions. That's you. That's your mind, your heart, your emotions all pulling you in different ways. And the challenge is to bring those conflicting forces into harmony, to find a way to integrate all those different parts of yourself and move forward as a unified whole. What are those horses inside of you saying? Are you listening to them? So, what are those unspoken longings we talked about at the start? What are the obstacles that are preventing you from achieving them? Are they external, like a lack of resources or support? Or are they internal, like fear, doubt, or limiting beliefs? Maybe you have this deep desire to start your own business, but you're afraid of failing. Or maybe you want to travel the world, but you're worried about leaving your comfort zone. Or maybe you want to express yourself creatively, but you're afraid of being judged. Those are all internal obstacles, those voices telling you no, that are keeping you stuck. The Chariot is about recognizing those obstacles and finding the courage to overcome them, to silence those voices. It's about saying, okay, I'm scared, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to get out there and do it. And sometimes the biggest obstacle is yourself. It's your own self-doubt, your own limiting beliefs, your own fear of failure. You know, you might be holding yourself back without even realizing it. You might be sabotaging your own success because you don't believe you deserve it, because you're afraid of what will happen if you actually achieve your goals. It's wild. The Chariot is about breaking free from those self-imposed limitations and recognizing your own power and potential. It's about saying, I am worthy of success, I am capable of achieving my dreams, and I am not afraid to go after what I want. You have to say it loud, but here's a warning. The Chariot can also be a sign of recklessness or a lack of direction. You know, if you're too focused on achieving your goals, you might run over other people in the process. You might become so obsessed with winning that you lose sight of your values and your integrity. You might forget to take care of yourself and your relationships. So, it's important to balance your drive and ambition with compassion and empathy. Remember that success isn't just about achieving your own goals. It's also about making a positive impact on the world and helping others along the way. Are you helping others along the way? Okay, so how does this all tie back to the Moonstone point and that grounding energy? Well, the Moonstone is all about emotional balance and stability, right? And the Chariot can be a pretty intense card. It's about harnessing your emotions and using them to propel you forward, but it's also about not letting them control you. So, the Moonstone can help you stay grounded and centered, even when you're feeling overwhelmed or stressed. It can help you maintain your emotional equilibrium and make sure you're not making decisions out of fear or anger. Keep that balance. Think about it this way. The Chariot is like a race car. It's powerful, fast, and capable of achieving great things, but without a skilled driver and a solid foundation, it can easily crash and burn. The Moonstone is like the pit crew that keeps the car running smoothly and the driver focused and calm. It's the grounding force that prevents you from losing control and helps you stay on track. You know, it's like you can have all the willpower and determination in the world, but if you're not grounded in your values and your emotions, you're going to end up spinning out of control. That Moonstone is there to keep you in check. So, what are some practical ways to use this grounding energy to overcome your obstacles and achieve your unspoken longings? Well, first of all, it's important to connect with your emotions. Take some time to really feel what you're feeling without judgment or criticism. Allow yourself to be vulnerable and to acknowledge your fears and your doubts. It's okay to be scared, it's okay to feel overwhelmed, but it's not okay to let those feelings control you. It all goes back to the point of the reading unspoken feelings. What feelings are you not speaking? Then, find some healthy ways to manage your stress and your anxiety. Exercise, meditation, yoga, spending time in nature, talking to a therapist, these are all great ways to calm your mind and reconnect with your body. You know, it's important to find what works for you and to make it a regular part of your routine. Remember, self-care isn't selfish. It's essential for your well-being and for your success. Self-care is key. And finally, focus on your values. What's really important to you? What do you stand for? What kind of impact do you want to make on the world? When you're clear about your values, it's easier to make decisions that are aligned with your true self and to stay motivated even when things get tough. And when you're living in alignment with your values, you're more likely to attract the people and the opportunities that are right for you. This is all about attraction. Okay, wow, that was a lot. So, the Chariot is all about taking control of your life, overcoming obstacles, and achieving your unspoken longings. But it's also about staying grounded, balancing your emotions, and living in alignment with your values. It's a powerful card, but it requires focus, discipline, and a clear sense of direction. And with the help of the Moonstone, you can harness that energy and create the life you've always dreamed of. This is getting so juicy. So, what's next? I can't wait to see what the universe has in store for you. Okay, so, wow, things are really heating up, right? I mean, with the Wheel of Fortune turning, the Hierophant questioning everything, the Knight of Pentacles putting in that work, and the Chariot just charging forward, you're like in the middle of a whirlwind. But now, to really see what's going on, to really tap into those unspoken longings, we have the Seven of Wands. Okay, so the Seven of Wands, right? This card, it's all about being challenged, about standing your ground and defending what you believe in. You know, it's like you're on top of this hill and everyone is coming at you, trying to knock you down. But you're holding your wand high, ready to fight for what's yours. But what does this mean for you right now? Well, remember the Chariot. All that willpower and drive, the Seven of Wands is like the universe testing that willpower. Are you really ready to fight for what you want? Are you really committed to those unspoken longings? Because now you're going to have to defend them. Are you ready? It's like the Chariot gave you the confidence to move forward, and the Seven of Wands is saying, okay, prove it. Show me how much you really want this. It's the challenge round, and remember the Hierophant, all those beliefs and traditions you're questioning. The Seven of Wands might be about facing opposition from those very beliefs and traditions. Like, maybe your family doesn't understand your dreams, or your community doesn't support your choices. Maybe they're even actively trying to discourage you. The Seven of Wands is about standing up to those expectations and saying, no, I'm going to live my life my way. How are you going to do it? And the Knight of Pentacles, steadily working towards his goals. The Seven of Wands is about facing setbacks and obstacles along the way. It's about those moments when you feel like giving up, when you're not sure if you can keep going. But the Seven of Wands is telling you to persevere, to keep fighting, to keep believing in yourself. You've come this far, don't give up now. The Knight would want you to keep going. But let's dig a little deeper, okay? Because this is where it gets really interesting. What exactly are you defending? What are those unspoken longings that are now being challenged? Is it a new career path? A creative project? A relationship? A personal belief? What is it and why is it so important to you? Dig deep now, and who or what is creating this opposition? Is it external forces like jealous colleagues or unsupportive friends? Or is it internal doubts and fears? Maybe you're the one holding yourself back, sabotaging your own success because you're afraid of what might happen if you actually achieve your goals. It's crazy how often that happens, isn't it? The Seven of Wands can also represent a need to set boundaries. Maybe you're being taken advantage of, or maybe you're letting other people walk all over you. It's time to stand up for yourself and say, enough is enough. You deserve respect, you deserve to be heard, and you deserve to have your needs met. But you have to be the one to enforce those boundaries. Nobody else is going to do it for you. So, where do you need to draw a line? Who do you need to say no to? But here's the thing. The Seven of Wands isn't just about fighting. It's also about knowing when to walk away. Sometimes, the best way to win a battle is to not fight it at all. Sometimes, it's better to conserve your energy and focus on something more important. So, ask yourself, is this battle worth fighting? Is this really something you need to defend? Or is it just a distraction from your true goals? Is it a fight you're willing to have? And remember the Moonstone point and that grounding energy? It's more important than ever right now. When you're feeling challenged and under attack, it's easy to get defensive and reactive. It's easy to lose your cool and say things you'll regret later. But the Moonstone is reminding you to stay calm, to stay centered, and to respond with grace and composure. It's about being assertive without being aggressive, about standing your ground without being stubborn. How can you stay calm? Think about it this way. The Seven of Wands is like a pressure cooker. If you let the pressure build up inside, you're going to explode. But if you release the pressure gradually, you can handle the heat. The Moonstone is like the valve that releases that pressure, helping you to stay grounded and balanced even when things get intense. That inner valve is your release. So, how can you use this grounding energy to navigate these challenges and defend your unspoken longings? Well, first of all, it's important to know your worth. Believe in yourself, believe in your dreams, and don't let anyone tell you that you can't achieve them. You are capable of amazing things, and you deserve to have everything you desire. But you have to believe it first. It all starts with you. Then, focus on your strengths. What are you good at? What makes you unique? What do you have to offer the world? When you're confident in your abilities, it's easier to stand up to opposition and defend your position. You know what you bring to the table, so don't let anyone make you feel like you're not good enough. You are enough. And finally, practice self-care. Take care of your body, your mind, and your spirit. Eat healthy, exercise regularly, get enough sleep, and spend time doing things you enjoy. When you're feeling strong and healthy, you're better equipped to handle stress and challenges. You can't pour from an empty cup. But let's get really practical here, okay? Because sometimes, the Seven of Wands can manifest in very specific ways. Like, maybe you're trying to get a promotion at work, but your colleague is sabotaging your efforts. They're spreading rumors about you, taking credit for your ideas, and generally making your life miserable. The Seven of Wands is telling you to stand up for yourself, to document their behavior, and to talk to your boss about what's going on. Don't let them get away with it. You deserve that promotion. Or maybe you're in a relationship where your partner is constantly criticizing you and putting you down. They're making you feel insecure and unworthy of love. The Seven of Wands is telling you to set boundaries, to communicate your needs, and to be prepared to walk away if things don't improve. You deserve to be treated with respect and kindness. Don't forget that. Or maybe you're pursuing a creative project, like writing a book or starting a blog, but you're constantly comparing yourself to others and feeling like you're not good enough. The Seven of Wands is telling you to stop comparing yourself and to focus on your own unique voice and vision. There's only one you, and your perspective is valuable. Don't let self-doubt hold you back. Your voice matters. Okay, wow, this is getting intense. So, the Seven of Wands is all about being challenged, standing your ground, and defending your unspoken longings. But it's also about knowing when to walk away, setting boundaries, and practicing self-care. It's a powerful card, but it requires courage, confidence, and a strong sense of self-worth. And with the help of the Moonstone point, you can navigate these challenges with grace and composure. This is all about tapping into what those unspoken feelings are and facing them. Now, what's next? How are we going to deal with this? I am so excited to see what the next card brings and how it will guide you to manifest those hidden tides. This is going to be good. Okay, so, after all of that, after the wheel turning and the Hierophant challenging and the Knight working and the Chariot charging and then defending with the Seven of Wands, we finally get to see, where all of this is headed, what to watch out for in all of this crazy energy, and that card is the Page of Swords. Oh my gosh. So, the Page of Swords, right? This card, it's all about new ideas, new information, and communication. It's about being curious, being alert, and being ready to speak your mind. You know, it's like you're getting all these new messages, all this new information, but you have to be careful about how you interpret it and how you communicate it to others. It's about being ready to cut through the BS and get to the truth. So, how does this connect with everything else that's been going on? Well, remember the Seven of Wands and how you were defending your position? The Page of Swords is like giving you the tools and the information you need to defend yourself even better. Like maybe you were missing some key facts or some important details, and the page is bringing them to your attention now. Information is power. Or, remember the Hierophant and questioning those beliefs and traditions. The Page of Swords is about doing your research, gathering information, and forming your own opinions. It's about not just blindly accepting what you've been told, but thinking for yourself and coming to your own conclusions. It's about intellectual independence. And the Chariot, charging forward with all that willpower. The Page of Swords is about making sure you're charging in the right direction, that you have all the information you need to make smart decisions. It's about not just rushing headlong into things without thinking them through. Are you thinking? And the Knight of Pentacles, working so hard to manifest his dreams? The Page of Swords is about being open to new ideas and new approaches, about not getting stuck in your ways and being willing to adapt to new information. It's about staying flexible. So basically, the Page of Swords is about bringing a fresh perspective to everything that's been happening, about making sure you're informed, curious, and ready to communicate effectively. But let's dig a little deeper, because this is where it gets really interesting. What kind of information is the page bringing to your attention? Is it something positive, like a new opportunity or a helpful resource? Or is it something negative, like a warning or a piece of bad news? Or is it just like neutral information that you need to process and make sense of? What is it, and how does it make you feel? And how are you communicating with others right now? Are you being clear, honest, and direct? Or are you holding back, afraid of what people might think? Are you being assertive without being aggressive? Are you listening to others and considering their perspectives? It's all about balance. The Page of Swords can also represent gossip or rumors. Maybe someone is spreading false information about you, or maybe you're hearing things about other people that you're not sure are true. It's important to be discerning and not just believe everything you hear. Do your research, check your sources, and don't spread rumors yourself. Don't add fuel to the fire. Or, the Page of Swords can represent a need to be more assertive in your communication. Maybe you're being too passive, letting other people walk all over you. It's time to speak up for yourself, to express your needs and your opinions, and to stand your ground. It goes back to the Seven of Wands. But here's the thing, the Page of Swords can also be a bit of a know-it-all. Maybe you're so eager to share your new ideas and your new information that you're coming across as arrogant or condescending. It's important to be humble and to remember that you don't know everything. Be open to learning from others and don't assume that you're always right. Nobody likes a know-it-all. And remember the Moonstone point and that grounding energy? It's super important right now. Because the Page of Swords can be a bit scattered and unfocused, jumping from one idea to the next without really digging deep into anything. The Moonstone is helping you to stay grounded, to stay focused, and to think clearly. It's about bringing that emotional balance to all these new thoughts. Think about it this way. The Page of Swords is like a hummingbird, flitting from flower to flower, gathering nectar. It's quick, it's agile, and it's full of energy. But it can also be a bit restless and easily distracted. The Moonstone is like the roots of a tree, anchoring you to the earth and providing you with stability and nourishment. It's about staying grounded, even when you're feeling pulled in a million different directions. Stay rooted. So, how can you use this grounding energy to navigate all this new information and communicate effectively? Well, first of all, it's important to take your time. Don't rush to judgment, and don't feel pressured to make a decision before you're ready. Gather all the facts, weigh your options, and trust your intuition. Do the research. Then, practice active listening. When you're talking to someone, really listen to what they're saying without interrupting or judging. Try to understand their perspective even if you don't agree with it. Ask clarifying questions and show that you're engaged in the conversation. Show you care. And finally, be mindful of your tone and your body language. Even if you're saying the right words, your tone and your body language can send a completely different message. Be aware of how you're coming across to others and make sure that you're communicating with respect and empathy. Be aware, But let's get really practical here, okay? Because sometimes the Page of Swords can manifest in very specific ways. Like, maybe you're waiting to hear back about a job application, and the page is bringing you news, good or bad. It's important to be prepared for either outcome and to not let rejection get you down. Keep applying. Or maybe you're in a relationship where communication has been difficult lately, and the page is bringing an opportunity to have an open and honest conversation. It's important to be vulnerable, to express your feelings, and to listen to your partner's perspective. Open up. Or maybe you're working on a creative project and you're feeling blocked, and the page is bringing a new idea or a new inspiration that can help you move forward. It's important to be open to new possibilities and to not be afraid to experiment. Try new things. The Page of Swords can mean that you need to speak your mind, but that there could be consequences. It's a warning to stay calm, to think things through, and to be prepared to defend your ideas, because the swords always represent ideas and battles. Okay, wow, this is getting so real. So, the Page of Swords is all about new ideas, new information, and communication. But it's also about discernment, humility, and grounding. It's a powerful card, but it requires awareness, intelligence, and emotional balance. It is linked to the earlier message of unspoken feelings, because what is stopping you from expressing yourself? Now, with the help of the Moonstone point, you can navigate these challenges with grace and clarity. What's next? What's the final piece of this puzzle? I'm so excited to see what the universe has in store for you, and how all of these cards will come together to reveal the truth about those unspoken longings. Okay, so after all of that craziness, we've got the wheel turning, the Hierophant questioning, the Knight working, the Chariot charging, the Seven of Wands defending, and the Page of Swords bringing all the info. We finally get the last piece of the puzzle to really see what's in their heart, and that card is the Three of Cups. Yes! Oh my gosh, this is going to be good. So, the Three of Cups, right? This card is like all about celebration, friendship, and community. It's about connecting with others, sharing your joy, and celebrating your successes, you know? It's like you've been working so hard, and now it's time to take a break and enjoy the fruits of your labor with the people you care about. But how does this all connect with everything else that's been going on, right? Well, remember the Wheel of Fortune and how it's all about change and cycles. The Three of Cups is like celebrating the successful completion of a cycle, you know? Like, you've gone through a period of transformation, and now it's time to celebrate the new beginning. It's a reward for making it through. It's about saying, okay, I did it. I made it through the tough times, and now I'm going to enjoy the good times. You deserve this celebration, and remember the Hierophant and how he's all about tradition and beliefs. The Three of Cups is like breaking free from those rigid structures and creating your own community, you know? Like, you're not just following the rules anymore. You're finding people who share your values and your passions, and you're creating your own traditions together. You're building your own tribe. It's about saying, okay, I respect the traditions of the past, but I'm also creating my own future with the people I choose. Forge your own path, and the Knight of Pentacles, always working hard and being dedicated. The Three of Cups is like taking a break from all that hard work and enjoying the company of your friends, you know? Like, you can't just work all the time. You need to take time to relax, recharge, and connect with the people who support you. It's about saying, okay, I've been working really hard, but now it's time to have some fun and celebrate with my friends. All work and no play makes you dull. And the Chariot, charging forward with all that willpower and determination. The Three of Cups is like celebrating the victories you've achieved along the way, you know? Like, you've overcome so many obstacles and you've accomplished so much. It's important to acknowledge those achievements and to celebrate them with the people who helped you get there. It's about saying, okay, I'm proud of what I've accomplished, and I'm grateful for the support of my friends and family. You did it together. And the Seven of Wands, standing your ground and defending your beliefs. The Three of Cups is like finding strength and support in your community, you know. Like when you're facing challenges and opposition, it's important to have people who believe in you and who will stand by your side. It's about saying, okay, I'm not alone in this fight. I have my friends and my community to support me. You have allies. And the Page of Swords, bringing in all that new information and communication. The Three of Cups is like sharing those new ideas and insights with your friends and collaborators, you know? Like, you're not just keeping all that knowledge to yourself. You're sharing it with others and creating something even better together. It's about saying, okay, I have all this new information, and I'm excited to share it with my friends and see what we can create together. Collaboration is key, but let's dig a little deeper, okay? Because this is where it gets really interesting. What exactly are you celebrating? Is it a personal achievement, like a new job or a completed project? Or is it a relationship milestone, like a wedding or a birth? Or is it something bigger, like a social movement or a community event? What is it that's bringing you joy and connection right now? What are you grateful for? And who are you celebrating with? Are these close friends and family members? Or are they new acquaintances and collaborators? Are you building a diverse and inclusive community? Are you making sure that everyone feels welcome and valued? Inclusivity matters. The Three of Cups can also represent creative collaboration, right? Like, maybe you're working on a project with a group of artists or musicians, and you're creating something really special together. It's about sharing your talents, supporting each other, and celebrating the unique contributions of each member of the group. It's all about that synergy. It's about finding people who inspire you and who challenge you to be your best self, and creating something bigger and better than you could ever create on your own. What can you make together? But here's the thing. The Three of Cups can also be a warning about overindulgence, right? Like, maybe you're partying too hard, spending too much money, or neglecting your responsibilities. It's important to enjoy yourself, but it's also important to stay grounded and to not let things get out of control. Balance is key. Make sure you're not using celebration as a way to avoid your problems or to escape from reality. Face your problems. Or, the Three of Cups can represent gossip and superficial relationships. Maybe you're surrounded by people who are only interested in having a good time, but who don't really care about you on a deeper level. It's important to cultivate authentic connections and to surround yourself with people who support you and who challenge you to grow. Be authentic. Don't waste your time on superficial relationships. Quality over quantity. And remember the Moonstone point and that grounding energy? It's super important right now, because the Three of Cups can be a bit airy-fairy, a bit too focused on fun and celebration without really thinking about the consequences. The Moonstone is helping you to stay grounded, to stay connected to your emotions, and to make sure that you're not getting carried away. Stay connected. Think about it this way. The Three of Cups is like a champagne bubble, light and effervescent, floating up into the air. It's beautiful and joyful, but it can also burst easily. The Moonstone is like the earth beneath your feet, providing you with a solid foundation and preventing you from floating away. It's about staying grounded, even when you're surrounded by celebration and excitement. Stay stable. So, how can you use this grounding energy to embrace the positive aspects of the Three of Cups while avoiding the negative ones? Well, first of all, it's important to be mindful of your intentions. Why are you celebrating? What are you hoping to achieve? Are you trying to connect with others and build community? Or are you just trying to escape from your problems? Be clear about your intentions and make sure that you're celebrating for the right reasons. Set the right intention, then practice moderation. Enjoy yourself, but don't go overboard. Drink responsibly, spend wisely, and don't neglect your responsibilities. Remember that balance is key and that it's possible to have fun without losing control. Moderation is key. And finally, cultivate authentic connections. Surround yourself with people who support you, who challenge you, and who care about you on a deeper level. Don't waste your time on superficial relationships. Invest in the people who matter most. Connect for real, but let's get really practical here, okay? Because sometimes the Three of Cups can manifest in very specific ways. Like, maybe you're planning a wedding, and the Three of Cups is telling you to focus on creating a meaningful and joyful celebration with your loved ones. Don't get caught up in the details and forget what's really important. Celebrate the love. Or maybe you're starting a new business with a group of friends, and the Three of Cups is telling you to focus on building a strong and collaborative team. Share your talents, support each other, and celebrate your successes together. Work together. Or maybe you're feeling lonely and isolated, and the Three of Cups is telling you to reach out to your friends and community and to connect with others who share your interests. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there and to make new friends. Reach out, you can do this. This card represents how to ensure you don't block any of these blessings from coming your way. It's important to connect with others, but it's also important to stay grounded and to not get carried away. It is linked to the earlier message of unspoken feelings, and by sharing your true self with others, you open yourself up to receive love, support, and connection. Okay, wow, this is all coming together. So, the Three of Cups is all about celebration, friendship, and community. But it's also about balance, moderation, and authentic connection. It's a powerful card, but it requires awareness, intention, and emotional grounding. Now, with the help of the Moonstone point, you can navigate these energies with grace and joy, okay? You got this. All of this has been building, and you are prepared to succeed. This is going to come together for you. Okay, so, wow, we've reached the end of this reading, and I am, so excited about everything that's come up. From the Wheel of Fortune to the Three of Cups, it's been a wild ride, right? And honestly, this whole reading, it's been about tapping into those hidden tides, those unspoken longings within you, and figuring out how to manifest them. This entire reading is about finding your inner you, and what the best steps are to achieve those inner longings. And, when I look at all these cards together, it's like the universe is, cheering you on, It's go for it, you got this. And this Three of Cups, it's just the perfect way to end things, because it's all about celebrating your journey and connecting with the people who support you. It's such a lovely feeling. It's so great. So let's break it down a little bit more, right? Let's see how this Three of Cups connects with all the other cards we've seen. Remember the Wheel of Fortune and how it's all about change and cycles. The Three of Cups is celebrating the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new one, maybe you've been through a tough time, but now things are finally starting to look up, and it's time to celebrate that. It's woohoo, I made it. And honestly, you deserve to celebrate all that you have accomplished and continue to do. And then, the Hierophant, right? Challenging all those beliefs and traditions. The Three of Cups is finding your own community, your own tribe, who supports you and accepts you for who you are. It's about saying, okay, I respect the past, but I'm creating my own future with the people I choose. It's about finally finding that group of people where you really feel like you belong and that everyone really accepts the real you. And of course, the Knight of Pentacles, working so hard and being so dedicated. The Three of Cups is taking a break from all that hard work and enjoying the company of your friends, you can't just work all the time. You need to take time to relax, recharge, and connect with the people who make you happy. You deserve to take a moment and breath and let everything you've been working on sink in. Because if you don't take that moment, you may not fully recognize all that you have achieved. And the Chariot, charging forward with all that willpower and determination. The Three of Cups is celebrating those victories you've achieved along the way, you've overcome so many obstacles and you've accomplished so much. It's important to acknowledge those achievements and to celebrate them with the people who helped you get there. Don't forget those allies that were there through thick and thin with you. And the Seven of Wands, standing your ground and defending your beliefs. The Three of Cups is finding strength and support in your community, when you're facing challenges and opposition, it's important to have people who believe in you and who will stand by your side. And that group of people, those are who you want to be with in the long run. And the Page of Swords, bringing in all that new information and communication. The Three of Cups is sharing those new ideas and insights with your friends and collaborators, you're not just keeping all that knowledge to yourself. You're sharing it with others and creating something even better together. Because a lot of times, that information can be used to help others as well, and create a strong bond that connects you and those you are sharing with. But okay, here's the thing, right? Even though the Three of Cups is all about celebration and connection, it's super important to stay grounded, okay? Remember that Moonstone point and that grounding energy. That's key to making all of this work, Because the Three of Cups can be a bit like airy-fairy, a bit too focused on fun and celebration without really thinking about the consequences. You don't want to lose sight of why you are celebrating. So, how can you use this grounding energy to embrace the positive aspects of the Three of Cups while avoiding the negative ones? Well, first of all, it's important to be mindful of your intentions, okay? Why are you celebrating? What are you hoping to achieve? Are you trying to connect with others and build community? Or are you just trying to escape from your problems? Be clear about your intentions and make sure that you're celebrating for the right reasons. Make sure you are being true to yourself. Then, practice moderation, okay? Enjoy yourself, but don't go overboard. Drink responsibly, spend wisely, and don't neglect your responsibilities. Remember that balance is key and that it's possible to have fun without losing control. Otherwise, you're defeating the purpose of celebrating. And finally, cultivate authentic connections, okay? Surround yourself with people who support you, who challenge you, and who care about you on a deeper level. Don't waste your time on superficial relationships. Invest in the people who matter most. These are the people that are going to be there for you when things are rough, and the people that are going to truly want to celebrate all that you have achieved. So, what does this all mean for you right now? Well, it means that you're on the right path, okay? You've been through a lot, but you're finally starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You're connecting with your true self, you're building strong relationships, and you're celebrating your successes along the way. This is really all about that journey and what is to come for you. And this Three of Cups, it's not just about partying and having fun, okay? It's about creating a life that's filled with joy, connection, and meaning. It's about finding your purpose, expressing your creativity, and making a positive impact on the world. What kind of impact do you want to have on the world? It's about creating a life that's true to you, that reflects your values, and that brings you happiness and fulfillment. And I know you can do it. It is something that you are capable of. So, what are some practical steps you can take to integrate all of these energies into your life, right now? Well, first of all, make time for your friends and family, okay? Schedule regular get-togethers, plan fun activities, and make sure they know how much you appreciate them. Nurture those connections. Then, get involved in your community, okay? Volunteer your time, join a club or organization, or attend local events. Find ways to give back and to connect with people who share your interests. There is always something to do. And finally, celebrate your successes, no matter how small, okay? Acknowledge your achievements, reward yourself for your hard work, and share your joy with others. Don't be afraid to toot your own horn. You deserve it. It all goes back to what you want to achieve and where you want to be. And, this whole reading, it's been about those unspoken longings, right? Those desires that you've been keeping hidden deep inside. And the Three of Cups is telling you that it's time to bring those longings to the surface, to share them with others, and to celebrate them with the people you care about. It is time to express all of those feelings. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable, to be authentic, and to be yourself. The world needs your unique gifts and your unique perspective. You have something special to offer, and it's time to share it with the world. What can you do? So, I'm just so incredibly excited for you and for everything that's to come. You've got this. You're strong, you're capable, and you're surrounded by love and support. Go out there and create the life of your dreams. You deserve it, don't ever forget that. And this is just the beginning, okay? This is just the start of a new chapter in your life. There will be challenges along the way, but you're ready for them. You have the tools, you have the support, and you have the determination to overcome anything that comes your way. And I know you can do it. I truly believe in you. You will exceed all expectations. So go out there and shine your light, okay? Spread your joy and make a positive impact on the world. The world needs you, and you're ready to answer the call. This is all really coming together, and this is all for you. And thank you so much for joining me on this journey, okay? It's been an honor to read for you, and I can't wait to see what amazing things you accomplish. Remember to stay grounded, stay connected, and keep celebrating every step of the way. This is your time to shine. Wow, I really feel like that was a very special reading, and it had so many key takeaways. It is really all meant for you, and all that is to come for you. Please remember that I am always here, and I am wishing you all the best. Okay, my friend, so you pick the clear quartz tower, which, as you know, is all about clarity, right? And our theme for this reading is reflected truths, the light they wish to share. So, immediately, I'm seeing this as, a moment of real honesty for them, and it's about what they actually want you to see, not just what they show you, you know. And with these cards, the Ace of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups, and the Knight of Wands, it's like a whole new chapter is starting, but it's built on some serious choices and a lot of fiery energy. It's like they're clearing the way to reveal something really important, something they've been holding back, maybe? Okay, so let's dive right into this Ace of Pentacles. Ooh, I'm excited. So this card, it's all about new beginnings, new opportunities, like a gift from the universe, basically. It's that fresh start energy, right? And it's in Pentacles, which is all about the material world, security, stability, finances, all that good stuff. So, right off the bat, this could mean a new job, a new business venture, a new home, something tangible and real that's coming into their life. But because we're talking about reflected truths, I think it's deeper than that. It's not just about getting something new, it's about a new approach to security and stability. Maybe they've realized that their old way of doing things just wasn't working. Maybe they were chasing money for the sake of money, or staying in a job they hated because it was safe, you know? And this Ace of Pentacles is like a wake-up call. It's saying, hey, there's a better way to build a solid foundation. And that better way, I think, is tied to what they truly value, what really matters to them. And that's the light they want to share, this newfound understanding of what real security means. Imagine they've been working in a soul-crushing corporate job for years, right? And everyone sees them as successful because they're making good money. But inside, they're miserable. This Ace of Pentacles could be them finally realizing that true security isn't about the paycheck. It's about doing something that aligns with their values, something that makes them feel alive. Maybe they're starting a passion project, or volunteering for a cause they believe in, or even just taking a lower-paying job that's more fulfilling. It's about redefining success on their own terms, and that's huge. And it could be even more personal, too. Maybe they've been relying on external validation for their sense of worth, always seeking approval from others. And this Ace of Pentacles is about finding that validation within themselves. It's about building self-esteem and self-reliance so they don't need anyone else to tell them they're good enough. That's a massive truth to share, right? Because it's so vulnerable and real. Or, okay, here's another thought. What if it's about a relationship? Maybe they've been in a relationship that was financially stable but emotionally draining. And the Ace of Pentacles is about creating a new kind of relationship, one that's built on mutual respect, emotional support, and shared values, not just on, shared bills, you know? It's about finding that true partnership, where both people feel secure and supported, and that makes so much sense with the light they wish to share, right? Because who doesn't want that? But here's the thing, this Ace of Pentacles isn't just falling into their lap. It requires action. It requires them to step into this new opportunity and actually create that stability. And that's where the other cards come in, because it's not always easy, right? To leave the old behind and embrace the new. And honestly, I'm getting the feeling this has been a long time coming, a really long time. Which brings us to the Eight of Cups. Oof, okay, this card. This is all about walking away, leaving something behind, turning your back on a situation that's no longer serving you. It's about emotional fulfillment, or rather, the lack of it. So, what are they leaving behind? What are they walking away from? This is where it gets really interesting, because it directly ties into that Ace of Pentacles, right? Maybe they're walking away from that soul-crushing job, or that draining relationship, or that old way of thinking that was keeping them stuck. It's about recognizing that something isn't fulfilling them anymore, and having the courage to say, enough is enough. And that's huge, because it's not always easy to let go, especially when something is familiar or comfortable, even if it's not good for you. And the Eight of Cups, it's not like a happy, celebratory kind of leaving. It's more like a somber, reflective one. There's a sense of sadness, of loss, of acknowledging that something is ending. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's definitely not easy. It requires a lot of self-awareness and a lot of courage to admit that something isn't working and to choose to walk away. But here's the thing, walking away isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning of a new one. It's creating space for that Ace of Pentacles to come in. It's clearing out the old to make room for the new. And that's why it's so important to understand what they're leaving behind, because it gives us insight into what they're seeking. Maybe they're walking away from a situation where they felt unappreciated or undervalued. And they're seeking a new opportunity where they feel seen, heard, and respected. Maybe they're walking away from a relationship where they felt suffocated or controlled. And they're seeking a new relationship where they feel free to be themselves, where they can grow and evolve without being held back. Or, what if they're walking away from a dream that just isn't realistic anymore? Like maybe they've been chasing a certain goal for years, but it's just not happening, and they're finally realizing that it's time to let it go. That's a tough one, right? But it can also be incredibly liberating, because it frees them up to pursue something that's actually achievable and fulfilling. It opens the door for that Ace of Pentacles to manifest in a different way, a way that's more aligned with their true path. And this ties into the light they wish to share so deeply, because it's about being honest about your limitations, about acknowledging when something isn't working, and about having the courage to change course. It's about showing others that it's okay to let go of things, even if they're important to you, if they're no longer serving you. It's about prioritizing your own well-being and happiness, even if it means disappointing others. Like, imagine they've been living their life according to other people's expectations, right? Trying to please their parents, their partner, their friends. And the Eight of Cups is them finally saying, I can't do this anymore. I need to live my life for myself. And that's a powerful message to share, because so many people struggle with that. So many people feel trapped by other people's expectations. But here's the thing, the Eight of Cups isn't just about running away from problems. It's about walking towards something better. It's about making a conscious choice to create a more fulfilling life for yourself. And that requires action. It requires them to actively pursue that Ace of Pentacles. And that's where the Knight of Wands comes in, because this is the energy that's going to drive them forward. Okay, the Knight of Wands. Hugh, this is like pure fire, pure passion, pure energy. This card is all about taking action, pursuing your goals with enthusiasm and confidence, and not being afraid to take risks. It's about being bold, adventurous, and a little bit impulsive, honestly. So, how is this Knight of Wands influencing their journey from the Eight of Cups towards the Ace of Pentacles? Well, first of all, it's giving them the courage to actually walk away from whatever they're leaving behind. The Eight of Cups can be a very passive card, like just drifting away from something. But the Knight of Wands adds this element of intentionality, of actively choosing to leave. It's like, I'm not just unhappy, I'm doing something about it. And that's huge. And it's also fueling their pursuit of that Ace of Pentacles. The Knight of Wands is all about going after what you want with everything you've got. It's about being laser-focused on your goals and not letting anything stand in your way. So, if they're starting a new business, the Knight of Wands is the energy that's going to drive them to work hard, network, and take risks to make it successful. If they're pursuing a new relationship, the Knight of Wands is the energy that's going to give them the confidence to put themselves out there, to be vulnerable, and to go after what they want. But here's the thing, the Knight of Wands can also be a little bit reckless, a little bit impulsive. It's important to channel that energy in a positive way, to be mindful of the consequences of your actions, and to not burn any bridges along the way. Because the Knight of Wands can sometimes be a bit of a hothead, you know? Imagine they're leaving that soul-crushing job, right? The Knight of Wands could make them want to just quit on the spot without having a plan in place. And that could be risky, because it could leave them without a source of income. So, it's important to temper that impulsiveness with a little bit of practicality to make sure they have a backup plan or at least some savings to fall back on. Or, what if they're leaving a relationship? The Knight of Wands could make them want to just lash out at their partner, to say things they'll regret later. So, it's important to communicate their feelings calmly and respectfully, even if they're feeling angry or frustrated. It's about being assertive without being aggressive. But overall, the Knight of Wands is a positive force. It's the energy that's going to help them create a new and fulfilling life for themselves. And it's directly tied to the light they wish to share. Because it's about inspiring others to pursue their passions, to take risks, and to live life to the fullest. It's about showing others that it's okay to be bold, to be adventurous, and to not be afraid to go after what you want. Like, imagine they've always dreamed of being a musician, but they've been too afraid to pursue it. The Knight of Wands is the energy that's going to give them the courage to finally pick up that guitar, to start writing songs, and to share their music with the world. And that's a beautiful thing to share, because it can inspire others to follow their dreams, too. It's about showing that it's never too late to pursue your passions, no matter how old you are or how much experience you have. So, to bring it all together, we've got this Ace of Pentacles, a new opportunity for stability and security, but on their own terms. Then the Eight of Cups, walking away from what's no longer serving them, making space for the new. And the Knight of Wands, that fiery passion and drive that's pushing them forward, giving them the courage to take risks and pursue their goals. And all of this, all of it, is connected to the light they wish to share, this newfound understanding of what truly matters in life, and the courage to live authentically, even if it means going against the grain, you know? Wow, okay. This is really powerful, and I'm so excited to see where this goes. I think the next card is going to really clarify why they're choosing to share this now. Let's pull it. Okay, the Seven of Swords. Oh, wow. Okay, so this card, this throws a little wrench in things, doesn't it? Like, it's not as straightforward as the other cards, you know? It's complicated. So, like, usually the Seven of Swords is about deception, secrets, sneaking around, you know, not being entirely honest. So, like, right off the bat, this could mean that they're not being completely upfront with you or with themselves about something. Like, maybe that light they wish to share isn't the whole truth, you know? Maybe there's something they're keeping hidden, something they're not ready to reveal. And that's concerning, right? But it's not always that bad, okay? The Seven of Swords can also be about strategy, about being clever, about finding a way to get what you want when the odds are stacked against you. It can be about taking a calculated risk, about doing what you need to do to survive, even if it's not the most ethical thing, you know. So, like, maybe they're not necessarily being malicious, but they're just trying to navigate a tricky situation, and they feel like they have to be a little bit sneaky to do it. So, let's break this down, okay? Like, how does this relate to the Ace of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups, and the Knight of Wands? Well, let's say they are, in fact, starting a new business venture, Ace of Pentacles. But they're not telling their current employer about it because they don't want to get fired before they're ready to leave. That's the Seven of Swords, right? It's like they're being strategic, they're protecting themselves, but they're also being a little bit dishonest. Or like maybe they are leaving that soul-crushing job, Eight of Cups, but they're telling everyone they're leaving for personal reasons when really they just can't stand their boss. Again, Seven of Swords, like a little white lie to avoid conflict. But okay, here's where it gets really interesting. What if the Seven of Swords is about them deceiving themselves? Like maybe they think they're pursuing this new opportunity, Ace of Pentacles, for the right reasons, but really they're just running away from their problems, Eight of Cups. You know, like maybe they think they're being driven by passion, Knight of Wands, but really they're just trying to escape something. That's a huge difference, right? Because if they're not even honest with themselves, how can they be honest with you? And that light they wish to share, maybe it's not as bright as it seems. Maybe it's a carefully constructed facade to hide their insecurities and their fears. Oh, that's sad, but it's possible, right? Okay, let's think about the relationship angle. Maybe they're walking away from a relationship, Eight of Cups, but they're telling you it's because they need to focus on themselves when really they've met someone else. Ouch. That's a classic Seven of Swords scenario, right? It's about avoiding the real reason, about not wanting to hurt your feelings, but ultimately being dishonest. Or maybe they're pursuing a new relationship, Ace of Pentacles, with the energy of the Knight of Wands, but they're still talking to their ex behind your back. Again, Seven of Swords, like, not cool, right? But here's the thing, even in these seemingly negative scenarios, there could be a glimmer of hope. Maybe they're not being intentionally malicious, but they're just scared, you know. Maybe they're afraid of hurting you or afraid of confronting their own issues. And that's where the other cards come in, because they can help us understand their motivations. Like, maybe the Knight of Wands isn't just about passion, but it's also about fear. Maybe they're rushing into this new opportunity because they're afraid of being alone or afraid of failing. And the Seven of Swords is their way of coping with that fear, of trying to control the situation, even if it means being a little bit dishonest. Or, okay, what if the Ace of Pentacles isn't just about a new opportunity, but it's also about a way to avoid responsibility? Like, maybe they're starting a new business to avoid dealing with their family issues. That's the Seven of Swords in action, right? It's about taking the easy way out, about shirking your duties, about not facing your problems head-on. But, let's not jump to conclusions, okay? Let's look at the positive possibilities. Maybe the Seven of Swords is about them being strategic in protecting their dreams. Like maybe they have a brilliant idea for a new invention, Ace of Pentacles, but they're afraid someone will steal it, so they're keeping it a secret until they can get a patent. That's smart, right? That's the Seven of Swords being used for good. Or maybe they're leaving a toxic environment, Eight of Cups, and they know that if they tell their boss the real reason, it'll just create more drama. So they're being strategic about how they exit to minimize the fallout. Again, that's a valid use of the Seven of Swords energy. And the light they wish to share. Maybe it's not about revealing everything all at once. Maybe it's about sharing their journey in stages, about revealing their vulnerabilities gradually as they feel safe and comfortable doing so. That's understandable, right? It's about protecting themselves, about not being completely exposed until they're ready. Like, imagine they've been through a really traumatic experience and they're finally starting to heal, Ace of Pentacles. They might not be ready to share the details of that experience with everyone, but they might be willing to share their journey of healing, to inspire others who are going through similar struggles. That's a powerful way to use the Seven of Swords, to protect your own vulnerability while still offering hope and inspiration to others. Or, okay, what if the Seven of Swords is about them reclaiming their freedom? Like, maybe they've been living under someone else's control for a long time, and they're finally breaking free, Eight of Cups. But they know that if they're too upfront about their intentions, that person will try to stop them. So, they're being strategic about how they break free, about taking small steps to regain their independence without triggering a major conflict. That's the Seven of Swords as a tool for liberation, for taking back your power. And the Knight of Wands is the energy that's driving them forward, giving them the courage to take those risks, to be a little bit sneaky if they need to be, to ultimately achieve their goal of freedom. Okay, so, as you can see, the Seven of Swords is a really complex card. It's not just about lying and deception, it's about strategy, about self-preservation, about protecting your dreams, and about reclaiming your freedom. And it all depends on the context, on the other cards, and on their underlying motivations. And that light they wish to share. It could be a carefully curated version of the truth, or it could be a genuine attempt to inspire others, even if they're not being completely transparent about everything. So, where does this leave us? Well, honestly, I'm not entirely sure. The Seven of Swords adds a layer of uncertainty to the reading. It makes us question their motives, it makes us wonder if they're being completely honest, and it makes us realize that there might be more to the story than meets the eye. Which, let's be real, there almost always is, right? But that's why we have more cards to pull, because I really think the next card is going to help us understand what's really going on here. Is this a necessary act of self-preservation, or are they genuinely trying to pull the wool over everyone's eyes? Let's find out. Okay, the Moon. Ooh, this is interesting, especially after that Seven of Swords, right? So the Moon is like all about the hidden stuff, the subconscious, the things that aren't always clear, you know? It's about intuition, dreams, and also illusions. It's that feeling of walking through a fog, not really sure what's real and what's not. So, like, how does this fit in with everything else we've got going on? Well, first of all, it definitely amplifies that sense of uncertainty that the Seven of Swords brought in, right? Like, we already knew that maybe they weren't being completely upfront, but now the Moon is saying, like, Yeah, there's a lot more going on under the surface than you think. It's like peeling back another layer of the onion, and honestly, it might be a little bit scary, you know? Because the moon can also represent fear, anxiety, and those deep-seated insecurities that we don't always want to face. So, let's connect this to the Ace of Pentacles. We were talking about this new opportunity for stability and security, right? But now, with the moon in the mix, I'm wondering if that opportunity is based on a solid foundation or if it's built on illusions. Like, maybe they think this new venture is going to solve all their problems, but really they're just projecting their hopes and dreams onto it, without really considering the practical realities. You know. Like, maybe they're starting a business because they think it's going to make them rich and happy, but they haven't actually done the research or put in the work to make it successful. And the moon is that warning sign, saying, hey, be careful what you wish for, because it might not be what you expect. Or maybe that new relationship, Ace of Pentacles, seems perfect on the surface, but there are hidden issues and unresolved traumas that are lurking beneath. The moon is shining a light on those hidden aspects, saying, don't ignore these red flags because they could come back to haunt you later. And this connects to that clear quartz tower too, because it's like the clarity is being obscured, right? The reflected truths are murky, not so clear-cut. And then, with the Eight of Cups, the moon adds another layer of complexity to that decision to walk away. It's not just about leaving something behind because it's not fulfilling anymore. It's also about confronting those deep-seated emotions that are driving that decision. Like, maybe they're not just walking away from that soul-crushing job because they hate it, but also because it reminds them of their own failures and insecurities. And the moon is forcing them to confront those feelings, to acknowledge the pain and the loss that's associated with leaving. Or maybe they're walking away from that relationship because they're afraid of getting hurt again. The moon is bringing those past traumas to the surface, making it even harder to let go. It's like the Eight of Cups is the conscious decision to leave, but the moon is the subconscious pull that's making it so difficult. And then, with the Knight of Wands, that fiery passion and energy, the moon is saying, okay, slow down a little bit. Don't just rush into things without thinking. It's like the Knight of Wands is all about action, but the moon is about reflection. It's about taking the time to understand your motivations, to consider the consequences of your actions, and to make sure you're not just being driven by impulse. Like, maybe they're so excited about this new opportunity that they're not seeing the potential downsides. The moon is urging them to take a step back, to look at the situation from all angles, and to make sure they're not making a mistake. Or maybe they're so eager to escape their past that they're not being realistic about their future. The moon is reminding them that you can't just run away from your problems, you have to face them eventually. It's like the Knight of Wands is the gas pedal, but the moon is the brakes. Okay, so let's talk more about the Seven of Swords and how the moon impacts that, because this is where it gets really interesting. If the Seven of Swords is about deception, then the moon is about the underlying reasons for that deception. It's about the fears, the insecurities, and the hidden motives that are driving them to be dishonest. Like, maybe they're not being upfront about their new business venture because they're afraid of failing, and they don't want anyone to know they're struggling. The moon is revealing that vulnerability, that fear of judgment. Or maybe they're lying about their reasons for leaving that job because they're ashamed of their own unhappiness, and they don't want to admit that they're not living up to their potential. The moon is exposing that shame, that sense of inadequacy. And that connects back to the reflected truths theme, because it's like the reflection is distorted, not showing the whole picture, and not showing what's really going on, you know? But here's the thing, the moon isn't always about negative things. It can also be about intuition, about trusting your gut instincts, and about connecting with your inner wisdom. So maybe that Seven of Swords isn't about malicious deception, but about protecting themselves, like we were saying, and the moon is guiding them, helping them to navigate a tricky situation with grace and intuition. Like, maybe they know that if they're too honest about their feelings, it'll just create more drama, so they're being strategic about how they communicate. The moon is helping them to find the right words, to express themselves in a way that's both honest and compassionate. Or maybe they're being secretive about their plans because they're afraid that someone will try to sabotage them, and the moon is giving them the intuition to see through their enemies and protect their dreams. It's like the Seven of Swords is the action, but the moon is the guidance, the inner compass that's helping them to stay on course. And this all ties into the light they wish to share, because it's about being honest about your vulnerabilities, about acknowledging your fears, and about embracing your imperfections. It's about showing others that it's okay to not have all the answers, and that it's okay to be a little bit lost sometimes. The moon is reminding them that true strength comes from vulnerability, and that sharing your struggles can be a powerful way to connect with others. Like, imagine they've always tried to project an image of perfection, of having it all together. The moon is challenging them to let go of that facade, to show their true selves, and to be honest about their struggles. And that's a really brave thing to do, because it makes them vulnerable to criticism and judgment. But it also allows them to connect with others on a deeper level, to inspire them with their authenticity, and to show them that it's okay to be imperfect. Or, what if the light they wish to share is about helping other people navigate their own hidden fears and insecurities? Like, maybe they've struggled with anxiety or depression in the past, and they want to use their experience to help others who are going through similar struggles. The moon is giving them the empathy and the understanding to connect with those people on a deeper level, to offer them support and guidance, and to show them that they're not alone. And that's a really beautiful thing to share, because it can bring hope and healing to those who are suffering in silence. Okay, so where does this leave us? Well, the moon has definitely made things more complicated, right? It's added a layer of mystery and uncertainty to the situation, and it's made us question their motives and their intentions. But it's also given us a deeper understanding of their inner world, of their fears, their insecurities, and their vulnerabilities. And it's reminded us that things are not always what they seem, and that there's always more going on under the surface. And it definitely shows us that there are reflected truths, but they may not be what we expect, and that the crystal's power to clarify is really needed here. But I think the most important thing is that the moon is urging them to be honest with themselves, to confront their own demons, and to embrace their imperfections. And that's a really important step towards living a more authentic and fulfilling life, and towards sharing their light in a genuine and meaningful way. I think whatever happens, this is calling for radical honesty, even if that honesty is scary. Honestly, I'm still not entirely sure what's really going on here, but I have a feeling that the next card is going to reveal the truth. It's going to show us whether they're being driven by fear or by love, whether they're being dishonest or strategic, and whether they're truly ready to share their light with the world. Ooh, I'm so excited to see what it is. Are you ready? Okay, the sun. Wow. After all that shadowiness with the Seven of Swords and the moon, this feels like a burst of, pure freaking joy, you know? Like, the sun is all about happiness, success, positivity, vitality, just good vibes all around. So, immediately I'm thinking, okay, maybe this is all turning out for the best, right? Maybe that deception and those hidden emotions are actually leading to something amazing. But we can't just assume that, right? We gotta dig deeper. So, in general, the sun represents clarity, optimism, and a sense of well-being. It's about shining your light, being authentic, and embracing your true self. It's also about achievement, reaching your goals, and celebrating your successes. It's a really powerful and uplifting card, and it often indicates a period of growth, abundance, and overall happiness. So, okay, let's connect this to the Ace of Pentacles, that new opportunity for stability and security. With the sun here, it's like that opportunity is not just stable, it's radiant, you know. It's filled with potential, it's going to bring them so much joy and fulfillment. It's like that Ace of Pentacles is now, supercharged with positive energy. But okay, what if the Seven of Swords and the moon are still in play? What if there's still some deception or hidden stuff going on? Well, maybe the sun is shining a light on those things, revealing the truth and helping them to overcome any obstacles. Maybe they were being dishonest about their intentions, but now the sun is giving them the courage to be authentic and to share their true feelings, you know? Or maybe those hidden emotions were holding them back, but now the sun is helping them to heal and to move forward. Or what if the sun is actually the thing they're being deceptive about? Ooh, that's interesting. Like, maybe they're trying to project this image of happiness and success, but really they're still struggling with those hidden fears and insecurities that the moon revealed. It's like they're putting on a brave face, but underneath it all, they're still feeling lost and confused. Which, is sad, right? But it's also a very human thing to do. Okay, let's bring in the Eight of Cups, that decision to walk away. With the sun here, it's like walking away from that situation is the best thing they could possibly do for themselves, you know? It's like they're leaving behind the darkness and stepping into the light. It's a moment of liberation, of finally choosing their own happiness. But again, we gotta consider those other cards. Maybe they're walking away from something that actually had a lot of potential, something that could have brought them a lot of joy. And the sun is blinding them to that possibility, making them think that they're doing the right thing when really they're making a mistake. You know, it's like they're so focused on the negative aspects of the situation that they're not seeing the positive ones. Or, what if the sun is the thing they're walking towards? Like, maybe they're leaving behind a life that was safe and comfortable, but also unfulfilling, and they're stepping into a new life that's full of passion and purpose. It's like they're trading security for happiness, and the sun is guiding them on that journey. Okay, now let's talk about the Knight of Wands, that fiery energy and passion. With the sun here, it's like that passion is now, super focused and productive, you know? It's not just reckless impulsiveness, it's a driving force that's leading them towards success and fulfillment. It's like they're channeling their energy in a positive way, and they're achieving amazing things. But okay, what if that Knight of Wands energy is actually a bit misguided? What if they're rushing into things too quickly, without really thinking things through? Well, the sun could be amplifying that impulsiveness, making them even more likely to make mistakes. It's like they're so caught up in the excitement of the moment that they're not seeing the potential consequences of their actions. Or, what if the sun is actually what's fueling that Knight of Wands energy? Maybe they're so passionate about this new opportunity because they truly believe it's going to bring them happiness and success. The sun is giving them the confidence and the optimism to pursue their goals with everything they've got. Okay, so let's bring it all together. We've got this Ace of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, Knight of Wands, Seven of Swords, the Moon, and now the Sun. It's a really complex mix, but I think the Sun is ultimately a positive card. It's shining a light on their path, revealing the truth, and helping them to achieve their goals. But we can't ignore those other cards, right? We still need to be mindful of the potential for deception, hidden emotions, and impulsive actions. The sun doesn't negate those things, it just illuminates them, making them easier to see and to deal with. So, what does this mean for the light they wish to share? Well, I think it means that they're ultimately trying to share their happiness, their success, and their positivity with the world, but they're also being honest about their struggles, their fears, and their imperfections. They're not trying to project a perfect image, they're just trying to be authentic and to inspire others to live their best lives, you know? They want to reflect their truths. Maybe they've been through a lot of difficult times, but they've learned from those experiences, and they want to share those lessons with others. The sun is giving them the confidence to be vulnerable and to share their stories, even if it's scary. Or maybe they've achieved a lot of success in their lives, but they want to use their success to help others. The sun is inspiring them to give back to their community, to support causes they believe in, and to make a positive impact on the world. But okay, let's not get too carried away here, right? We still need to consider the possibility that they're not being completely honest. Maybe that light they wish to share is just a carefully constructed facade, designed to hide their insecurities and their flaws. The sun could be amplifying that facade, making it even more convincing, you know? Which would be a huge shame. Or maybe they're being genuine in their desire to share their light, but they're just not aware of their own blind spots. The moon is revealing those hidden aspects, those unconscious patterns that are sabotaging their efforts. The sun could be blinding them to those things, making it harder for them to see the truth. So, as you can see, the sun is a really complex card. especially in this context. It's not just about happiness and success, it's about authenticity, vulnerability, and the potential for both deception and genuine inspiration. It's about shining your light, but also being aware of your shadows. And it's about the reflected truths and whether they're truly what they seem. And honestly, I'm still not entirely sure what's really going on here, but I have a feeling that the next card is going to be the key to unlocking the whole story. It's going to show us whether they're truly ready to share their light with the world or whether they're still hiding something. It's going to show us what's really in their heart. Ooh, I'm so excited. Okay, get ready. This is the last card. Okay. Here we go, the Knight of Cups. Ooh, that's interesting, right? After all that stuff we just talked about, this card comes in with like a gentle breeze, you know? Like he's all about romance, intuition, following your heart. It's like softness. So like right off the bat, I'm thinking this is about their emotions, like what they're really feeling, not just what they're showing. So like, let's really dig in here, okay? So this Knight of Cups, he's the classic romantic, right? He's charming, he's sensitive, he's artistic. He's all about love and beauty and all that good stuff. But like, he can also be a bit of a dreamer, you know? A little bit unrealistic, maybe even a little bit naive. So the question is, how does this knight fit into this whole puzzle we've got going on here? With the Ace of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups, the Knight of Wands, the Seven of Swords, the Moon, and the Sun? Like, what's he bringing to the table? Okay, let's start with the Ace of Pentacles. So, we said that was a new opportunity for stability and security, right? But with the Knight of Cups here, it's like that opportunity is now tinged with romance, or at least a strong emotional connection. Like, maybe this new business venture isn't just about making money, but it's also about pursuing a passion, something they really love. Or maybe this new relationship isn't just about finding stability, but it's about finding that soulmate connection, that deep emotional bond. It feels like there's an element of idealism to this new beginning, as if this person is hopping for some kind of fairy tale romance. And, you know, that kinda makes sense with the light they wish to share, right? Because who doesn't want to share their love and their joy with the world? Who doesn't want to believe in the power of romance? It's like they want to be seen as someone who is kind, empathetic, and loving above all, and this new opportunity represents that. But okay, let's not get too carried away here. Remember the Seven of Swords and the Moon. Remember that potential for deception and hidden emotions. Well, maybe this Knight of Cups is actually a mask, you know? Maybe they're using their charm and their sensitivity to hide something, to manipulate someone to get what they want. Ooh, that's a bit dark, right? But it's possible. Or maybe they are deceiving themselves into thinking they're more romantic and heartfelt than they really are. It's like they're trying to act out some fantasy role. Like, imagine they're starting a new relationship, Ace of Pentacles, and they're laying on the charm, being all romantic and attentive. But really, they're just trying to fill a void, to escape their own loneliness. They don't really care about the other person, they just care about the attention they're getting. See how the dark side can come out? Okay, so then, what about the Eight of Cups? How does the Knight of Cups influence that decision to walk away? Well, maybe they're walking away from a situation because it's lacking in romance, because it's not fulfilling their emotional needs. Like, maybe they're leaving that job because it doesn't allow them to express their creativity, or maybe they're leaving that relationship because it's lost its spark. It's like they need that excitement, that emotional connection. And again, that ties into the light they wish to share, right? Because it's about prioritizing your own happiness, about not settling for something that doesn't make your heart sing. They want the world to know they're brave enough to follow their emotions. It's also like a subtle brag about having such deep emotions. But. Maybe they're walking away from something that actually had a lot of love and potential, but they're just too caught up in their own fantasies to see it. It's as if they don't appreciate what they already have. Like, maybe they're leaving a perfectly good relationship because they're chasing some idealized version of love, some fairy tale romance that doesn't exist in reality. It comes across as them being ungrateful. And the Knight of Wands? How does the Knight of Cups temper that fiery energy? Well, maybe the Knight of Wands is all about taking action and pursuing their goals with passion, but the Knight of Cups is reminding them to be sensitive, to be compassionate, to consider the feelings of others. They're hopping for a harmonious situation. It's like they're learning to balance their ambition with their empathy. But, maybe the Knight of Cups is actually dampening their fire, making them too passive, too dreamy, too afraid to take risks. It's as if the waters of the cup are extinguishing the fire. It's like they're so worried about being liked and avoiding conflict that they're not actually pursuing their goals with the same intensity. Almost like they are afraid to put in real work and just expect the reward. Or, what if the Knight of Wands is actually fueling the Knight of Cups? What if they're using their passion and their energy to create something beautiful, to express their love, to make the world a better place? In that case, the fire is being used for good. It's like they're combining their ambition with their compassion to achieve something truly meaningful. It's as if their emotions and passion are aligned. So, let's step back and look at this from another angle, okay? The Knight of Cups is all about creativity and artistic expression, right? So, maybe this whole situation is about them finding a way to express themselves, to share their unique talents with the world. Like, maybe that Ace of Pentacles is a new creative project, something they're really passionate about. And the Eight of Cups is about walking away from a life that was stifling their creativity, that wasn't allowing them to be their true selves. And the Knight of Wands is about taking action and pursuing their artistic goals with confidence. And the light they wish to share? It's their art, their music, their writing, their creativity. They want to inspire others with their talents to make the world a more beautiful place. They want to show that they can create something from nothing. But then here's the flip side. Remember the Seven of Swords and the Moon? Maybe they're using their creativity to deceive people, to manipulate them, to get what they want. It's as if they're making their intentions unclear through artistry. Like maybe they're creating a beautiful facade to hide their true motives. Or maybe they don't even believe in their creative talents. Like, imagine they're a musician, and they're writing these beautiful love songs, but really they're just trying to get famous. They don't actually care about love. Or what if they are struggling with their mental health, and all of that pain and trauma comes out in their music? They want to express these feelings through their music and share these dark feelings with the world. In that case, the creative expression doesn't come from a place of passion, but from a place of pain, and they wish to share this pain, which wouldn't be good. See, the thing is, the Knight of Cups can be a bit of a chameleon, right? He can adapt to any situation, he can reflect whatever emotions are around him. So, it's really hard to know what's really going on inside, what's really in their heart. That really emphasizes the reflected truths aspect, and how difficult it is to truly see the reflections clearly, because it's so personal. We can never truly know someone, just see a blurred reflection. And that's where the sun comes in, right? Because the sun is all about clarity and truth. So maybe the sun is shining a light on the Knight of Cups, revealing his true intentions, showing us what's really in his heart. The sun helps remove those confusing reflections to make clear. But. Maybe the sun is actually blinding us, making us see what we want to see, rather than what's actually there. It's a nice thought, and that's why it can be deceiving. It's as if the sun is too bright and we can't see anything. It's also very easy to get sunburn. Like, maybe we want to believe that they're a romantic, a creative, a loving person. But the sun is just reinforcing that belief, even if it's not actually true. This whole spread, then, could just be a trick of the light, or maybe even their own self-image. Okay, so where does this leave us? Well, the Knight of Cups has definitely added another layer of complexity to this reading, right? It's made us question their motives, their intentions, their emotions. Is that light they wish to share truly there? It's reminded us that things are not always what they seem, and that it's important to look beneath the surface. And it's also reminded us that everyone is capable of both good and bad, of both love and deception. Now we need to figure out the balance. It's all these conflicting ideas all at once. But I think, ultimately, the Knight of Cups is a hopeful card. It suggests that there's potential for love, for creativity, for emotional fulfillment. It's just up to them to choose whether to embrace that potential or to let it slip away. If they make that decision, it will bring clarity to all these reflected truths. The choice is theirs to make, and the ramifications could be big. But it might not be all their choice, because the next card could bring up something unexpected. Okay, I'm so excited to see what's next. I think we are finally getting to the bottom of this. What do you think? Okay, my friend, okay. So, after all that roller coaster of emotions and hidden stuff, we finally arrive at the Page of Pentacles. Ooh, okay, that's interesting, right? It's like after all the drama, we're back to something simple, something grounded, something new. So, like, in general, the Page of Pentacles is all about new beginnings, new opportunities, but in a very practical, very earthy way, you know? It's like the Ace of Pentacles, but with a little less oomph, maybe. It's more about potential, about learning, about taking those first steps on a new path, okay? It represents a student, someone eager to learn and grow, someone who is focused on the material world, on building a solid foundation for their future. It also represents messages, news, and discoveries related to finances, career, or education. So, like, right off the bat, this could mean that all this stuff we've been talking about is leading to some kind of tangible result. It's as if the light they wish to share is just the starting point of their journey. But okay, how does this relate to everything else? How does this page fit in with the Ace of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups, the Knight of Wands, the Seven of Swords, the Moon, the Sun, and the Knight of Cups? Like, what's the big picture here? Well, first of all, let's connect this to the overall theme of reflected truths, the light they wish to share, and the clarifying energy of the clear quartz tower. The Page of Pentacles is like a blank slate, right? It's someone who is just starting to figure things out, who is open to new ideas and new perspectives. So maybe this whole journey, this whole process of revealing their heart, is actually about them trying to figure out their own truth, trying to clarify their own light. It is like they want you to see them as a humble, honest, hardworking person. Maybe they're not even sure what their light is yet, or how they want to share it with the world. But they're willing to learn, they're willing to experiment, they're willing to take those first steps. And that's really beautiful, right? It's like they're showing us their vulnerability, their willingness to grow, their openness to new experiences. But okay, let's not get too sappy here. Remember that Seven of Swords and the Moon. Remember that potential for deception and hidden emotions? Well, maybe this Page of Pentacles is just another mask, another way for them to hide their true intentions. It's like they're pretending to be a student, pretending to be humble and open, when really they're just trying to manipulate us to gain our trust, to get what they want, even to reflect a lie. Ooh, that's dark, right? But we gotta consider all the possibilities. And again, that clear quartz is really needed to get clarity, because otherwise the reflections will be distorted and confusing, you know? So, okay, let's break this down. How does the Page of Pentacles interact with the other cards? Let's start with the Ace of Pentacles. We said that was a new opportunity for stability and security, right? Well, with the Page of Pentacles here, it's like that opportunity is now about learning and growth. Maybe they're starting a new business venture, Ace of Pentacles, but they're also taking classes, reading books, and seeking advice from mentors, Page of Pentacles. They're committed to learning everything they can to make their venture successful. Or maybe they're entering a new relationship, Ace of Pentacles, but they're also working on themselves, going to therapy, and learning how to communicate better, Page of Pentacles. They're committed to creating a healthy and fulfilling relationship. It is like this person is ready to be a student of love. It means their light they wish to share is more of a dim spark, or maybe just a tiny flame. But it's a flame with potential. And what about the Eight of Cups, that decision to walk away? How does the Page of Pentacles influence that? Well, maybe they're walking away from a situation, Eight of Cups, because they realize they have more to learn, that they need to gain new skills or new knowledge to move forward, Page of Pentacles. It is as if they need a different classroom to truly thrive. Like, maybe they're leaving that job because they want to go back to school and pursue a different career path. Or maybe they're leaving that relationship because they realize they need to work on themselves before they can be a good partner to someone else. The light they wish to share might be their experiences and the lessons they've learned from those experiences, however difficult. They want the world to know you can get through the darkness to become a student of life. And then there's the Knight of Wands, that fiery energy and passion. With the Page of Pentacles here, it's like that passion is now being channeled into something practical, something concrete. It's like they're taking that energy and using it to build something real, something lasting. It's as if the sun is helping them see that knowledge is power. Maybe they're using their passion for social justice, Knight of Wands, to start a nonprofit organization, Page of Pentacles. Or maybe they're using their passion for art, Knight of Wands, to create a successful business selling their artwork, Page of Pentacles. Okay, but what about that Seven of Swords and the Moon? How do they fit into this picture? Well, maybe they're using their newfound knowledge and skills, Page of Pentacles, to deceive people, to manipulate them, to get what they want, Seven of Swords, the Moon. Like, maybe they're taking a course on marketing, Page of Pentacles. But they're using that knowledge to create misleading advertisements, Seven of Swords, the Moon. See, it's like they're going to marketing school, but not to become marketers, to become better liars. Ooh, it's always like they are hiding the truth from you. That clear quartz is working overtime, right? I mean, this spread needs a lot of clarifying. Or maybe they're not being intentionally deceitful, but they're just not being honest with themselves about their motivations. Seven of Swords, the Moon. Like, maybe they think they're pursuing this new opportunity, Ace of Pentacles, because they want to learn and grow, Page of Pentacles. But really they're just trying to escape their problems, Seven of Swords, the Moon. It's like they're not learning, they're hiding. The reality is that they are afraid, so they lie to try and protect themselves. And see, that's where the Knight of Cups comes in, right? Because he's all about emotions. Maybe they're trying to fill an emotional void with these material goals. Maybe they're trying to buy happiness. And the sun, how does it influence this journey? Well, maybe the sun is shining a light on their path, helping them to see the truth and to make wise choices. It is almost as if they wish for the world to see that they are working towards being their best selves. The light they wish to share comes off as hard work, dedication, and the determination to do better, learn better, and be better. The reality is that this may not be the truth, as there is potential for their light to just be a spark to lure others in. Or maybe the sun is blinding them, making them think that they're on the right path when really they're heading for disaster. It can be hard to see. It is like if the sun is shining at the lake, there will be so much glare. Maybe their light they wish to share is blinding others. You need to remember to protect your eyes. So, okay, after all that, where does this leave us? Well, the Page of Pentacles is a card of potential, of new beginnings, of learning and growth. It suggests that this person is on a journey to discover their own truth, to clarify their own light, and to share it with the world. But we also have to be mindful of the potential for deception, hidden emotions, and self-deception. We have to remember that not everything is what it seems, and that it's important to look beneath the surface. And honestly, that's the key takeaway here. That's the real message of this whole reading. It's not about judging this person. It's not about labeling them as good or bad. It's about understanding that they're complex, that they're flawed, that they're human, you know? And it's about empowering yourself to see through the illusions, to trust your own intuition, and to make your own decisions based on what feels right to you. Because ultimately, you are the one in control here. You are the one who gets to choose whether to believe them, whether to trust them, whether to let them into your life. And that clear quartz tower, it's not just about clarifying their light, it's about clarifying your own vision so you can see the truth for yourself. So, what's the best way to handle all this? First, trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. Don't ignore those red flags. Second, ask questions. Don't be afraid to dig deeper, to challenge their assumptions, to ask for clarification. And third, protect yourself. Set boundaries, be cautious, and don't give away too much too soon. Okay, my friend, I know this has been a wild ride, but I hope it's been helpful. I hope it's given you some insights into this person's heart and into your own. And remember, no matter what, you are strong, you are capable, and you deserve to be happy. So trust yourself, follow your heart, and shine your own light. You deserve to be happy and healthy, and to have relationships that nurture you, not drain you. I'm sending you so much love and positive energy, and I'm so excited to see what the future holds for you. Go get 'em.